Hello everyone and welcome to Laurence appears to be suffering from technical difficulties. Um, I'm not quite sure why, but I don't appear to have any upstream data connection speed at the moment. I'm getting like a normal down speed and only about 1 megasecond up. So this might be absolutely terrible. Did someone let me know how it looks from your point of view, please? Might need to go. Yeah, it's telling me that YouTube just doesn't have enough data coming through, so I might need to go off and I don't know, reset the router or something. Right, okay. I'm going to go and reset the router. I'll be back in a moment. How's that? Is there any audio now? Oh, why is nothing working? Hooray! Thank you. Oh, goodness sake. Right. Good. Thank you. Oh, that was annoying. Right. So, as I was saying, in the last episode, yes, I was going through doing the first couple of levels of energy science. So that's this stuff that I'm showing here on the on the on screen at the moment. And what we've got going on here, essentially, we've got all the way up down here. We're producing all the data packs for Energy Science 1. So we've got the lightning bolt is electrical or something. I'm not sure. Nuclear, polarization, and magnetism will all be made here. We've got a bit of a problem with the nuclear one, which, as I discussed before, is because I don't have a decent supply of U235 up here, so that's just run out, and that's one of the things I've been messing around with between streams to try and get that up and working properly. And I've made some progress. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's not actually fully formed and fully working yet. So up here, that means these machines, when they do work, they're producing Energy Catalog 1, and I've made about 500 of them that have gone into this station, waiting to be picked up and used for something else later. I then went on and did Energy Science 2, which is these four processes up here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. This one's just the one in the middle is just making the green clouds, which is some sort of plasma proton stream. There we go. And again, these are all being fed up to the computers up here. Now this one has also failed, again, whilst after getting about 450, almost 450 in. And that one is a bit weird. That one's slightly weirder, and that one's failed because there's too many of these memory cards in here. So when I set this up, I thought, well, this one here doesn't actually use the memory cards itself. It doesn't use memory cards at all. So my first instinct, which is to pass the spare ones that it passes out round and back in again, wouldn't work because it's not using them. So you need to take them somewhere else. So what I've done instead is I passed them up here to this machine, which is producing a different type of science, which does require memory cards, and that works in theory. The problem is if this one stops for any reason, eventually this one will back up the memory cards like this and also stop working. And so I think what probably happened here was that this one ran for a while first, dumped out all its data onto here, and then stopped running. And so when this one started feeding it memory cards, there wasn't enough room for them all to go in. I've just had a thought of another possible reason for that, actually. So let's go up and have a look at this. If that machine is spitting out more than one memory card each time it runs, then that could cause issues as well. So let's have a quick look at it. Where was it? It was this one. So whenever this runs, there's a 50% chance of a force. Yeah, okay. So this one actually is spitting out 2 memory cards for every force field data it makes, because one memory card comes out every time, but a force field data only comes out 50% of the time. So actually, just feeding them up to this machine is not going to work. Well, I was going to say that's a problem. It's not actually a problem. It just means I need to do something else with it. And the obvious answer to that is to feed them over here and bring them. Actually, let's do a couple of steps of this. First step is to put them onto both sides of the belt. Ooh. And then merge them in there. And we want to have input priority for right. So as they come through, we'll use those ones up first. So there we go. Now this is running again. This one's running as well, interestingly. Why is that? Okay. Ah, right, I see. So it must have. I'm not sure why that one kicked in immediately, because I was thinking, yes, it should kick in again fairly soon once this one starts feeding them up the belt here. Maybe they went up while I was distracted by other things. So I've now got one machine making each, and now that there's all 3 of these machines using up data cards, that should be okay. And this one actually produces a useful output 50% of the time as well. So there's going to be, so this machine is probably capable of using up everything that this one spits out, but this one certainly wasn't. So now I think this should all work. I know, famous last words and all that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to wait a minute or two for these memory cards. Actually, let's not wait a minute or two for those memory cards to go through. Let's just do this. Oh, I've run out of inventory space. Put those memory cards in there. Why is there so much junk in my inventory? Oh yeah, it's because I was down on Norvis and then I came back up again without emptying all the useless stuff out of my inventory first. I say useless, I mean stuff that's only useful down on the ground. What I was going to do is just get rid of those and get rid of those. Okay. So yeah, what this means, I've got loads of these things like all these belts which I can't use up here in space anyway. So if I fly back over to the spaceport area, then I can at least unload some of this stuff into a box and then consider taking it with me next time I go back down to Norvis. To be honest, I'm quite pleased I remembered to pick up all the stuff that I was going to need, that I was going to want back up in space before I took off. I wouldn't have put it past me to come back up here and have left all of these machines that I spent so much time building down on before I last went behind. So let's use one of these iron chests because I don't want them anyway. You can have those and those, 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 those. That. Oh, yeah, that I can't use here either. A lot of these things are intermediate products. Those should be in the warehouses. Okay, I think that's a reasonable level of offloading. I've got a bit of space in my inventory now, so I can at least play the game properly. Okay, so what was I saying? Ah, yes. And then the last thing I did at the end of the episode was I put in this. Well, this is another sort of start of a, what's the word? A bus for putting together all of the all of the things for this particular science pack. And this one's probably going to be astronomic. Although this could be science, it could be almost anything. This is just power, a station for dropping stuff off, and cooling systems. So it could be almost anything. I've noticed these need to be renamed as well. So we've got a copper pickup. I hope you'll excuse me doing all these things as soon as I think of them, because if I don't, I'll just completely forget. Oh, can't type today. Right. And did I... Yeah, no, this one's still named weirdly. Stone pickup recycling. Random rogue underscore. Okay, there we go. That's a bit more sensible over here. So as I was hinting, I've also been up to a couple of little things down on Norvis. I've made a video about this, so you'll probably, if you want a bit more information, a bit more detail on this, you can watch that when it comes out, probably in about a week or two. So I put in a low density structure unloading station here that's just dumping straight onto the bus, and that's instead of the low density structure supply I was building here, because it's far more efficient where I got it running from off the railway system. That's much more effective, so I'm pleased with that. I've also upgraded the what are these things? Heat shield tiles production as well. So in fact, I've not put in enough productivity modules in these, given that I've upgraded the machines as well. But this used to be using the old recipe, the one that takes massive quantities of steel and stone and sulfur, to the one that uses iridium instead, but in much, much smaller quantities. And I added in another rocket landing pad here and told it to summon iridium, and that's simple and straightforward, and so because of that, it actually works. The other thing I've been doing over here somewhere, yes, is I've improved and upgraded the Covarex systems. I hope you can't hear that dog that's barking. That's really annoying. So we've got. I've put in the. I've looped back the centrifuges so they're in two rows like this instead of having the second half of them along here, and that's allowed me to get them around these beacons, which means I can get in the productivity modules, and then I can use beacons to bring the speed back up and keep the electricity costs down. And then I've also beaconed up my Covarex systems down here because that was not producing enough. So they're full productivity modules, and again with the beacons to keep the speed up and electricity usage down. This simply feeds in a steady stream of the uranium 238 here. It all gets pummeled around in the centrifuges, and then every so often one of the centrifuges will spit out 10 235s. They go onto the belt all the way over here, down here, and into this station, which has now got to 19,000. Every time I look, it's gone up by maybe 1,000 or so. So this has been running for approximately forever, and it's still only got to 19,000. But once it gets to 20,000, a train will come and pick up, I think, 12,000 from it or so, maybe a bit more than that. But then it'll have to refill up again. A second train will come, and then I'll grumble a lot because I did the maths and worked out that one rocket is exactly 2 trains plus half a wagon. So it's 12.5 wagons per rocket, and the trains are 6. So it's going to... Oh. So yeah, the second train will very, very nearly fill the rocket, but not quite. So that's what I've been doing between last time and between streams. So let's get on with something else now. I should have got rid of that image ages ago. Sorry about that. Oh well, you could probably see everything I was doing. Okay, so the next thing to think about, I think, is going to be the astronomic science, and that I'm going to squeeze in over here. So astronomic science, I made this another pretty picture, this one, and so as you can probably see from this, we've got astroscience, the catalogue number 1 here, then 2, 3, and 4, and so for each of these you need to produce 3 or 4 different data types to go into them, same as all the other ones. For the tier 1, you're making, I'm not sure which order these are in, but it's going to be visible, UV, and IR, and then you have these ones, which are a combination of those 3. However, there is a cheaper recipe for making those 3, which uses microwave and some are those micro the two other types of electromagnetic data anyway, and you can feed all of those in there, and then you get twice as many out. And as you can see from the blue arrows, the those particular memory cards then get used in all kinds of other places, so I think having a lot of them being produced is going to be very, very useful. We then also need the mirrors to be produced and brought in order to make these ones for the packs number for the catalog number 2, and then 3 and 4 are just made from those ones again. So this actually number 2 should be quite easy. It's just going to need another type of mirror. Sorry, another type of telescope, maybe another 2 types of telescopes. I'm not sure. So I think that's going to be my starting point. That's where I'm going to get. Yeah, that's where I'm going to get going and see how it goes. So my keyboard is playing. This has not been my night. Now my keyboard has died. I'm hoping that's just going to be batteries in it. Let me swap those over and I'll see how that goes. But essentially this is just going to be building up the same sort of system I had, yeah, those AAAs. The same sort of system I had over on the other side for the tier 1 science, where there's going to be some machines making the photo frames that get put into the into the telescopes in order to get the actual data that we're after. Then there's going to be an enormous number of telescopes to actually process that data. Process those frames and make the actual that gives you processed frames. Then you can turn the processed frames into actual data cards and then start doing science with them. I suspect that the most difficult part of this, yes, I can move again. Probably was just dead batteries. The most difficult part of this, I suspect, is going to get the sheer number of those photo frames going through that I'm going to need, because as I remember with the tier 1 stuff, I've only got 3 machines making them, but I think they churn out quite quickly. As you can see, there's a lot of telescopes here, and I think basically you have enormous quantities of these going through, and then you don't actually make all that much science out of them. So if we have a look at catalog number 1, for example, it takes 12 of these visible observation frames to make a observation data, and there's a small chance of it not working anyway. And each of those requires a blank observation frame, and each of those requires glass, beryllium, coal, or oil. So, there's 2 recipes for these as well. So there's one that takes in steel and produces 5, or there's one that takes in beryllium and produces 10. So it's twice as good. Otherwise, it's the same recipe. Oh, and it takes longer as well. So it produces them at the same rate, but uses less inputs. So I will, of course, be using this one because using less inputs is a very good thing. So as you can see, this spits out enormous quantities of blank observation frames, although it does take 10 seconds to run. But you need huge quantities of them to actually do the science, because it takes 12 of these ones, 10 of these ones, 10 of these ones, and then when we get onto the second one, microwave is only 8, bargain. That one's only 4. So it gets slightly cheaper, but you then need quite a lot of those input ones to make, how's it done here with these things, these orreries make the astronomic data cards that you then need to use for the gravitational. So that's going to be quite a lot of stuff. I've lost my. I rebooted my computer in order to try and work out whether the internet problems were on my computer or with the internet. It turned out they were the the internet, so rebooting the router fixed it. But I've lost all the things I had loaded up and ready for the stream, which is why I've been a little bit disjointed so far. That's my excuse, and you can't prove otherwise. Okie dokie. So, oh, that's a bit laggy. Right, have I got this in the right place? I have got that in the right place. Excellent. So what we're going to do is, as before, I'm going to configure this station over here to be bringing in the actual resources I'm going to need for this. Stop sliding around on the things. Okay, so in order to make the frames, we need, let's see, we need glass. So let's set this one to glass, which is, where is, oh, there is glass. Dear me, this has not been a good start. Then we need coal. Coal is easier to spot because it's black. We need beryllium. Oh, we need to bring in beryllium ingots, and then we're going to need to process these into plates. That's okay, we can do that. And we're going to need light oil as well. That I can't just bring in by the magic of LTN, sadly. Mirrors are already programmed into this station, so that's good. Memory cards as well, which I'm going to need them. That's everything I need for tiers 1 and 2. Tier 3, I'm also going to need either cryonite slush or cryonite and sulfuric acid, or I'm just going to bring it, or I'm going to need to bring in those X-ray mirrors or whatever they are. They're something like that, and chemical or possibly chemical gel, depending. I think I'll probably make those mirrors on site because I suspect they're not actually used anywhere else. Let's have a look, see if I can find them. Things that use that. Let me see the gamma ray detectors, not X-ray, gamma rays. Presumably, yes, this is the only way they're made, and this is the only thing that uses them. So yes, I'll build those on site. But at the moment, I'm not going to use this station for now. I probably won't need to at all. If assuming I produce the cryonite slush elsewhere, which I think I will because I need that in more than one place. All I'm going to need to bring in here is going to be 2 liquids, so I'll need to make another station for those. Oh, and the other important thing I nearly forgot is to program this station to actually bring those things in. So we don't want stone, we do want memory cards, we don't want copper, we don't want iron, we do want mirrors, we don't want green circuits. We do want glass, we do want coal, and we want beryllium ingots. Right, that's the 5 things we want. So now, if I wire that up to the station here, then we should get. Let's put that wire that in on the other pole because it looks slightly neater. And I don't know, somehow having a cable going across the railway line at low level, it just feels a bit wrong. Okay, it's just occurred to me I'm not going to have any what do you call it? Any scaffolding in my inventory. So what I'm going to do is fly back up here. I'm going to, and there was a box full of scaffolding, and there's a box full of scaffolding down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do up here is I'm going to put down a box and fill it up with all of the things that are just used for these sort of machines. And hopefully I'll remember when I come back that I don't need to carry these around with me. So let's get rid of some of that. Oh, I should have put those in the other box, but never mind. And there was some scaffolding down at the bottom, I think. So let's get going. Yes, hello and good morning, everyone. Sorry, people who've actually said hello specifically. Good morning, good evening, whatever. I sound like what's his name from the was it the Truman Show where Jim Carrey had that as his catchphrase. Yeah, morning, Andrew. Morning, Tristan. No, evening, Andrew, Tristan, Daniel, and Gort. Thank you for joining the stream. I feel like it's been a bit of a hectic start, but that was just down to the technical difficulties. And that's not me blaming Tom Scott and his friends. It's just been a bit of a hectic beginning, but hopefully now things will settle down a little bit and we can actually get going and play some Factorio. Wouldn't that be nice? Have I got... Actually, let's turn this back on and see if they want to bring me any other stuff. I don't want a barrel of light oil. I don't even know why I've got that. I'm going to get rid of these, all of these modules actually, because I'm not using modules at the moment, but having them up here is going to be very useful later when I go to start trying to streamline and efficientize things. Yes, efficientize is definitely totally a word. I'm going to get rid of all these random things out of my inventory as well. I'll probably regret that fairly soon, but for now I'm going to do that. Okay, I don't care about the rest of those coolers. I've got 33 of them already. I am going to need an enormous quantity of telescopes though, and I'm going to, actually before I go off, I'm going to think about the next generation of telescopes as well, because I'm going to need them. So put that there. I say next generation, I mean the ones that are going to be needed for Astro 2. So we're going to need microwave telescopes, still using the same orreries, that's good, and the same on there, and presumably, yes, X-ray telescopes, and gravimetric facilities, and laser facilities we already have. Okay, so I'm going to need 3 of these. I don't want to copy paste those, I'll just end up with all the I just end up with all of the ingredients for the other things rather than the ingredients for the machines I actually want. So telescopes. So that's a normal telescope. I've got a machine making that over on the other side of the base, so I'll go and claim those. In fact, I could just rip up all of the telescopes I've already made. I'm going to need microwave telescopes here. I'm going to... Alright, here then. I'm going to need... What was the other one? X-ray telescopes here. And here we haven't even got a machine yet. Great. Once that one does get created, that's the gravimetrics facility, isn't it? Okay. So let's head over here. I've got a few bots, so I can potentially pull up some of these things as I need them. Oh, come on. Stop loading saving at the wrong time. Oh, always. I was going to say at the wrong time. It's just there's never going to be a right time, is there? So I can get 13 out of there and a couple more. That's obviously set it to load up to 10. Okay. I feel like maybe I should just pull all of these up rather than making quite so many more. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. At some point, I'm going to dismantle this science area completely, or this entire bus area completely. And then I can just rip up absolutely everything and start using it elsewhere. But for now, it's that's a bit too much effort, if I'm being honest. Okay, where am I making the grav facilities? That's telescopes, that's mirrors. Did I just make those by hand? What are you making? Plasma generators. Yeah, there's nothing around here making them. Okay, so I need to make both types of orrery as well. Orrery is a silly word and difficult to say. Okay, why is this machine down here not making more space manufactories? What have you run out of? Is it... Oh, it's those. Okay, have another 50. Because I am going to need another one of them. I said I'm going to need another one of them. There we go. Now, one thing I need to do here is put limits on these so they don't just build forever. I probably should have done that before I flew off, although none of them seem to have actually built anything. That way. Because aeroframe pulse. Okay. There's lots of extra stuff needed that, well, in some cases I'm not building. What do you need? Are you also aeroframe poles and mirrors? Yes, you are. I need to make these two things, wasn't it? So that one and that one. What do these even require? Oh, that looks like all stuff we've got up around here. That's not too bad. And the same with this one. Okay, so these two should start getting built. That's a good thing. So I want you to run until there's at least... Where is it? There it is. Let's just start with 10 of these. I don't want to get too carried away. And likewise here, I want to have 10 of these. And you're doing the blue telescopy things, which is that. And you're doing the orange telescopes, which is that one. What's the red one? Radio telescopes. Okay, that'll be another one to do then. Hang on a minute. I think I've got this wrong. Oh no, it's an X-ray telescope. Okay, I didn't get that wrong. There's just so many things that all look the same. We've got... Oh, okay, that's all right. They're the ones I couldn't select, the ones I haven't researched yet, like the gamma ray telescope and the radio telescope. So I couldn't have got those by mistake. Right. Okay. Why are you not running? You're just waiting for stuff, I hope. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe there's actually no... There's no... Okay. Low density structures, blue circuits, and big electric motors. I thought I brought a load of big electric motors up in the rocket. Apparently not, but... Oh. Low density structures are over here somewhere. There we go, those ones. Oh, I've overloaded my inventory. Ah, I clicked too many times. I've picked up a load of circuits I didn't want. And loads of the machine. There must be, I'm sure there must be a more effective way to do this, because this feels a bit ridiculous, just flying back and forth like this, with picking up all of the ingredients. And then these electric motors are still going to be a problem, because I just don't have any of those at all. The mirrors are miles away. The aeroframe poles need to be made from, it was aeroframe poles, wasn't it? Yes. Need to be made from beryllium. So let's take those. Put that in there, that there, and then I can do that. I want this one to make beryllium, this one to make poles, which are probably in here. There we go. Power that up, and now I need some beryllium. That should at least get me these two. Now I'm going to... Yeah, there we go. There's the inputs coming in. Now I need to go off and get some mirrors. And they're being made just up here, so I can go and just... Oop, misclick. Fill my inventory once again. Some of this stuff must be completely useless and unnecessary. Oh, I've got a load of exposed slides already. Oops, I've overshot. Right, mirrors. Who needed mirrors? You two. What else do you need? Okay, aeroframe poles, that's fine. They're being produced. Electric motors. I keep wanting to go down and look in these boxes to see if there's electric motors in there, because I'm that sure I brought some up. How many do they need? 8. Oh, it's the request is 240. These numbers are far too big. I don't know why it requests quite so many. Oh, I know where they are. They're in a thingy, buffer chest. That's why there aren't any available. Right. There we go. Now we have some stuff. Now what you're missing. Low density structures. Didn't I just come over here with a huge number of low density structures? Yes, I did, but they all went in here. Okay. And this takes what? How many? 40 a time. Oh, dear God. Why is everything so expensive in space? I mean, I'm sure NASA have a good answer for that, but it doesn't help that I can only pick 50 of them up at a time. Okay, we've got 6 and 5 and 1 so far. Okay, I'll put up with that, even though it's not really enough. Because if at least if I've got one or two of absolutely everything, then I can get over there and actually start sketching the system out and putting the bits and pieces down and getting everything in the right place. By the way, if I do leave a diagram on screen for too long, then yeah, please, then please let me know. Please shout at me. I'll get rid of it again. Unless you're actually enjoying reading through it, I suppose. Then yeah, I can leave it up for as long as you want. Yeah, you might well be right. I know the inserters insert enough to run twice, and so it probably is something like that. That's I don't know. I just feel like I should go through these and knock a 0 off the end of each number because these are crazy numbers. Even that's a fairly crazy number, and it's not even, yeah. To be honest, I should do that for all of them, but I'm not going to hang around for that long. Okay, I now have lots of these telescopes. I have one of each of these telescopes, and I've got 13 of them, 6 of them. Okay, that is enough to get me started and to produce at least some of the Tier 1 and Tier 2 astronomic data, I think. I mean, you know me, I'm probably going to find out a short way into it that I've completely forgotten something, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. Ooh. Alternatively, I'm just going to completely overshoot the landing pad. There we go. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger. And by a little bit, I mean this much bigger. Oh, what is wrong with that dog? Let's say, I sincerely hope you guys can't hear it because it's really annoying, and I've got headphones on that completely cover most of my head. Right, bring this pipe down here a bit because I don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to leave a bit of excess space because I'd like to say I've learnt my lesson. That's probably not true, but I'm not. I'm going to leave a bit of room up here for something that I'm bound to have forgotten. Put it that way. Where's the beryllium I requested? Is beryllium not a thing we have on this planet? I'm pretty sure space station. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, here we go. Here's an entire warehouse full of beryllium. It's linked up to the station here. The request is on that box and linked to here. We have minus 200 beryllium and also minus 200 memory cards as well for some reason. Has it tried and failed? No, it doesn't seem to be trying. Oh, unless... The provide threshold is set to a stack. Do I just need to make these numbers a bit more negative, a bit bigger? I can imagine they stack fairly high. I don't know. Let's give that a moment to think about it. Think about what it's done, and I'll work on something else for a bit. Okay, so what I'm going. In fact, nothing actually uses beryllium in ingot form, I don't think. So I'm going to pull this out here. These could be 5s, not 4s. Oh well. It keeps all the liquids together, so that's probably a good thing. Coming out here, we're going to turn... I've got rid of all of my assembly machines. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, I despair. I really do. Can I make a copy of something up here? Is there something up here where I'm... Oh, yeah. This thing. I'm only going to set up a set of 3 of these for now. Like that. Oh, do that, and then this can come back in here. Take the same place on the bus. Okay. That's the well, it's going to be beryllium at the moment. It's trying to process holmium, but you know it'll work. We'll work that one out. Then we need Oh, we need some space manufacturers, and those are massive, and I've no idea exactly how massive they are, so I'm going to have to go and get them. While I'm at it, I'll get some actual assembly machines so I can get that bit up and running as well. I told you I'd forget something. Okay, over here, that machine is making the manufactories. That's 5 of them. That should be enough to get started with. And then I need the assembly machines, which are in there. I'm going to pick up some more scaffolding while I'm back here, because, you know, I get through it at quite a rate. Okay, now hopefully I've got everything I need to actually start with what I'm going to bravely call the interesting stuff. So, space manufactory goes there, but I blatantly need a bit more space than this. I also wanted to quite deliberately leave a decent amount of space. I want to leave another bus's worth in here because I reckon that the that at some point I'm going to have some intermediate products and things like that that I'm going to want to put them somewhere. So things like the exposed data cards that haven't been turned into whichever science pack yet, that sort of thing. I want to have room to put them in the middle rather than pushing them all the way out over here. So I think that'll be a better way to do this. So that, and actually let's put in the second ingredient here, which would probably be either coal or glass. Oh, I need to. No, that way. That way. There we go. So that's coal and beryllium. Also going to need glass, which I shall pull out here. So. Then we can put in these big boys. Like that. Let's have 2 to start with. What do they need for making these frame things? That's probably going to be. Here we go. Okay, so we that, yeah, so there's no coolant required for this. It is just those 4 ingredients. Excellent. I just need to pipe in oil as well. I'll get to that in a minute. Power would be useful as well, wouldn't it? So let's put that there and there. Okay, so that's everything but the beryllium and the oil. Good start. So I reckoned I was going to need oil, and eventually I'm going to need cryonite slush and. Okay, so I am going to need 3 liquids sooner or later. We have worked out that it's possible to drop off more than 1 liquid per station, though. So let's do that. Bring this out here like this. I want to leave enough space for it to do liquidy stuff, and I think that's probably is. And I also need to extend this out further because, of course, I do. Ooh. And I need to whack in some signals here like that. Oh no, what? Oh, I'd already put signal there. Okay. Smaller, smaller, small, 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 small. Not that small. Put in a station. Yeah, that's big enough. Good. And now I can put some ground around here. And I'm ideally wanting to use this for 3 liquids. So the way I'm going to do that is to have 2 on one side and 1 on the other. and then control the pumps to make sure they only unload the train when they're supposed to. So put one there, one there, and one there. However, that said, at the moment I only need one of those liquids, so I'm just, I should put let's put the tanks in anyway, at least, because then at least it's ready for when I get around to putting more in. So let's see, let me try and remember how to wire this up. Going to need power for these, of course. Going to need more ground space to put down this pylon, like that. So you need to link up. Where's my cable? Cable. So for this, for a liquid station, if you link the station to the pumps like that, close to the pump, isn't it? Pretty sure. It's really hard to see. And then you link the light to the tanks like that. And then you can tell the pumps to only turn on when the liquid they're supposed to be requesting is in the train. So in this case, it's a light oil, so I want that one. When light oil is greater than 0, be a pump. And I want to read train contents. So this will pull the contents out of the train. If there's light oil, this pump will turn on. If not, none of and then the other ones will turn on and off as appropriate. So the other ones should probably be set to cryonite slush and chemical gel. So with this system, yeah, you can get round the sort of the problems of trying to supply liquids in a sensible way. Power. There we go. Oh, but I do need to still put in a constant combinator to actually request those liquids. Put it there because why not? Actually, don't wire that up just yet. Program it first, then wire it up. Prove that you can learn from your mistakes. You don't have you aren't set up properly yet, so you won't be requesting anything. You are set up, and you're set up for two liquids, which is nice because then I can just check check that everything is correct. Yeah, that looks alright. It's even two of the right liquids. No, it's not. Well, it's 2 of the liquids that I want, not all 3. 10,000 of that, and then the light oil was the fourth one. Oh, yeah, I don't want that one. That's why. Okay, so we've got 3 liquids coming in: chemical gel, cryonite slush, and light oil. Minus 10,000 of each one because they come in 25,000. Yeah, pretty convinced that's correct. So let's link it up. Actually, while I'm at it, let's link this one up. My last combinator. Copy, paste. And you shouldn't be any of those. You should be warm thermofluid, which is presumably in here. Yes, there we go. Minus 10,000. And wire it all up. Oops. There we go. Okay, so that is now, I believe, all set up. The only problem is, as my pingometer at the bottom is telling me, nothing in this. We don't have anything that's supplying the oil at the moment, so I'm going to need to go over and set that up. I'm going to be astonishingly lazy for the time being, though, and not do that just yet. That's going to be my oil pipe. And it should be 1 square off the bottom. Okay. far is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's make a. Let's try and be reasonably efficient and make a 5 long. Actually, I could probably make one of the ones with a join in the middle, like the 7, and put it across the gap. But never mind. This is probably. No, that would be the one that's going up and down. Never mind. I'm talking nonsense. Okay, and this comes across here, which is few enough that I don't care. Five, but a funny thing at the end, be funny at the end. So yeah. Right, underground pipes for that one now. Oh, I take it back. I do have light oil being produced. That's a nice surprise. That is a less nice surprise. And then fill in the gaps. So, gloop. Okay. Oh yeah, I took out one of those. There we go. Right, that is now everything except the input beryllium. I suppose I really need to think about that because that should be working. I should have a supply of beryllium, and I don't know why I don't. And I should have a supply of memory cards as well, actually. So I don't know what's going on here. So we've got request at 1 stack. How do you easily find out? There's an easy way to find out what things stack up to, isn't it? And it's not that. Oh, I remember what it is. You go into inventory and then look and try requesting it. So it's a stack of 50 for those. So that's easily below a stack, or to beat that threshold. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, beryllium ingots. They only stack up to 10, as far as I remember. And it's 100 for those. Okay, but still, either way, as far as I can tell, this should be requesting those. So we've got minus 400 and minus 200. Those are both less than the request to stack threshold there. So that should be working. If I look at this pylon, it turns out it's not connected to anything. What? These two pylons are not connected together. Right, I think I found the problem. Hey Peter, congratulations. It sounds like there's been sort of a bit of an epidemic of internet problems today. I was having all kinds of headaches with it earlier myself. So it seems to be behaving again now, but it was yeah, apparently we were getting about 1 frame per second at the start of the stream, and that, to be honest, isn't really enough. Oops. So happily I've managed to up that a little bit. Right, I'm not going to pull these out onto the bus, actually. I'm going to bring them in on the first level of the sort of inner bus here. And yes, exactly. Astro 2 is the plan, so I sketched this together. That is all of the Astros, so I'm going to get 1 up and running again, and 2, hopefully. Well, I'm going to get 1 up and running again first, then try and get 2 running, then just see how it goes, really. There's quite a lot of stuff to do to get to that point. So let's see. Start off with infrared because it's top of the list. Let's make 5 of each. I'm going to flip the next one round. Let's see. So over on the other side, I did a mildly elegant thing with winding the pipes back and forth between them to get to all of them and still have room for the coolant to be passed through and have a belt to go through. I'm trying to decide if I can be bothered with that again, if that's the best way. And there are two alternatives basically. One is for the inputs, I'm going to have to have them a square further down than that. Let's leave a bit more space than I think I need to, because I probably need to leave more space than I realise. Okay, so the belt for this will go in there. The pipes, then if I run a pipe all the way along here, then there's no room to put the to use the inserters to put the actual things in. I could move the belt up and use long-handled inserters. How long do these things take to run? 5 seconds. put in one thing in, one thing out. Let's use long-handled inserters. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this. So if I run a pipe along like this, then put in inserters like this, then I need to have an input belt, not here, but here. And the same on the other side. An output, no, not there. Output belt there. Is this the best way to do it? I mean, I think that's reasonably neat. It will work, which is the most important part. And then I can have the next one down here doing the same thing. Actually, the next one down here doing the same thing. If I put it this way around, then I don't need to use long inserters. I can do this instead. Because those are going, yep, those are the same liquid. And then because there's going to be another row of these at least, I can do the same. I can do the same thing again here. So we have that, 2 blank squares, then a pipe, then a telescope, with the belt. No, going this way because this one's going to be cards. And then yeah, this works. I'm not going to comment on whether it's the yeah, as I was saying earlier, back in my sort of the tier 1 era, for want of a better term for it, I had, where is it? Here we go. Yeah, I had these belts snaking back and forth up the middle like this, and that I felt was quite a neat design because it managed to do the it completed all it did everything I wanted it to. I mean, I could use short inserters. I could have the pipe visited all of the telescopes. It was quite neat. Maybe I should do that again. I don't know. It was kind of pretty as well, but this isn't too bad. I mean, it's not too upsetting. It is a little bit less space efficient, but I think I don't really mind that too much anymore. The space isn't too much of a premium at the moment. That's wrong again. I keep forgetting that long-handled exerters actually are long. So that's 1, 2, and then blue. And then what's next? We have... Okay, so we have the orange and the dark blue ones, which are a different type of telescope. So there's my orange telescope. Oh, but okay, that one's a bit bigger, turns out. All right, okay, you've talked me into it. I'll do the snake design again. It was actually, I don't know actually. No, I take it back. I'm not going to do the snake design. It was nice for that one, but then now that I've got different sizes of telescopes, I think it's not going to be quite so neat. Because it won't work with this one essentially, because it's massive. But I can still do that. In fact, at this point, I could run the pipes along here, along this way, so I probably will. How big are the other ones? Oh, okay, they're bigger too, so that's all right. I don't feel quite so silly. Oh, I've run out. There we go. However, I've just remembered something else I was going to do differently this time. I was going to have them pass straight out into the orreries for analysing the data and turning it into memory cards. But is there any point in that actually? Maybe there isn't. Yes, hopefully none of them will go quite the way of Arecibo. I'll try and pick them up. I'll try and pick them up in a nice way. 1, 2, 3. Do that one. Do that one. Oh, and of course, these take in a different coolant from these. So actually, I'm quite glad I've got them arranged the way I have. That's quite fortuitous. Okay, do we have the coolants up? Oh, yes, we do have the coolants. Excellent. Right, I'm pretty sure that it was this one that we need. Don't do that. Oh. That's further than I wanted to go. I wanted to go to here. Okay, so here we will feed this out like that, and then go underground. There. Okay, that's that coolant in. We have this one out, which is this one. It's going to be too long. How much too long? 3. Okay, let's make the appropriate pipe for that. So it's not a 15. I can't do a 15. I can do a 9, and then a few extra little pieces. Yeah, there's a lot of attention to detail in space exploration. It's nice and pretty as well, which is always good. I'm going to want. Oh, I need exerters over here as well. Slightly messy. Why do we still not? Oh, we do have beryllium. What? I put. How? Just. Well, I know how actually. It's because I copied it from somewhere else and then didn't rotate it at the bottom when I put it down. Okay, here we go. Here's the beryllium coming through. I'll probably need more than this. We'll see how that goes though. Yeah, this is what I meant about having an enormous number of these things flowing through. It's there's a lot of these plates get used up in this system, so it's going to be fairly significant. Right, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to punch through like that, and across like that, and then go underground. And then when I expand it, I shall think about things a little bit further then. So this doesn't fit. Oh, alright, I'm going to move this whole thing across one. Or 3. Just line it up, might as well. Is that full coverage? Yes, I think it is. Right, and then we need inserters, exerters. Doing it right rather than weirdly. Things going in there. Yeah, they do spit them out jolly quickly up here, so that's hopefully going to keep that running without too much difficulty. Out and out. Okay, why are you not working? Ah, yes, because I haven't linked this up, that's why. I mean, to be honest, that's fair enough. It's a pretty good reason. It didn't have any coolant. So that goes to there. This is the ultra cold one. Oh, I haven't got onto spaceships yet. I've seen the odd screenshot here and there, but I've not thought about designs of them at all. This is this one. Oops, do need that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Once again, I've run out of pipes. Since I'm doing so much pipe-related stuff at the moment, I'm going to increase that to like 300, I think. Because I don't, whilst I do end up flying back and forth across the map all of the time, I don't really want to. It's a bit of a pain in the proverbial. Still, at least I've got the logistics bots to bring me all of the things I need when I do it. Ooh, some more massive Arecibo telescopes. Let's take them and that one. What are you waiting for now? Low density structures. At least this way I can get them all to slightly more than one. I'm hoping that that massive orange dish telescope is going to be able to do more than just is going to run a bit faster than the other machines, just because it's. I mean, this is entirely based on it being bigger, so it probably won't. 4-second crafting time to produce 1, compared to 5-second crafting time to produce 1. Okay, so no, it isn't any. It isn't any faster. It's just bigger. Oh well, never mind. Celevi. Oh, I didn't get any more scaffolding. This is, of course, why I end up spending all of my life flying back and forth across the base. It's because I can never remember to actually bring everything I need with me when I go. I wonder how worth it is actually using these things all the time. And it saves a little bit of space pipe, yes, but oops. Oh, and I can't even use it there anyway because I counted the ends in my 5. That end there specifically where it curves into it. Okay, what's next? So we're going to need more warm output down here, but we're also going to need the ultra cold down here, which is this one. It's probably not called ultra cold. It's probably got some scientific name like absolute zero. Well, that's what it is. I don't know if it has that name. That's true. I could shove a load of 3 pipes in here as well. I just haven't yet. Oh, that's too long. Alright, let's make some 3s. To be honest, the main advantage of these, as far as I'm concerned, is that they don't join up quite so much, and therefore you're less likely to cause accidental short circuits with them. There we go. One, two, three, four. Just put it in the right place and then count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, I'll make a 5 though. Hooking up all of the coolant is a surprisingly big job. But there we go. Right, that should now be all of these. Yes, we've got 2 from those 2, 2 from those 2, and oh, this needs mirrors as well. Curses. Foiled again, etc, etc. So, let's pull that out and bring the cold stuff in here. I might need to do something dirty there, but never mind. And that means I can then bring in a second belt like that, and then go and find the mirrors. Mirrors, mirrors everywhere, but not a drop on the wall. No, I don't know. It all makes sense in my head, I promise. Oops. Stop the world, I've fallen off. Here. So I want to put that in there. That's close. Where are the actual places where it's supposed to go underground? I think that one's in the right place. So, goes underground there and comes up there. It's going to have to be there. Okay. Those are memory cards. What? No. I'm going to describe that warning as slightly too late, Tristan. But thank you for trying. Yeah, these look a bit more like mirrors. There we go. I've not even got the excuse I had with the plastic, where they actually look almost identical at a certain level of zoom. Oh yes, it was. Sorry, Ben. I didn't see your message at all. um, my loss, I suppose. But yeah. Right. Are you now happy? Yes, you are happy. Oh, it's going to produce scrap as well. Okay. That's reasonable. Let's see. I'll just make a few more. Make a few more of these. That can be copied to there. In fact, I could have copied the whole thing vertically from about here to here. Drop it in like that. Nice. Are you running? No, you haven't got any thermofluid. Why have you not got... Oh, we haven't got enough thermofluid coming through. That's interesting. So maybe that's part of the the general difficulty of the astronomic sciences is that you have to make such ridiculous quantities of everything. You get through gallons and gallons of thermofluid, perhaps. I don't know. No? Yes. Do I need these for anything else? No, that's it actually. Oh, yes I do. Sorry, I take it back. I do. I need it for gamma and whatever the red one is. I don't know. Those ones further down. So the green arrows show you everywhere that the plates are needed, and that goes all the way down to yes, it's 3 for tier 1, 2 for tier 2, and 2 for tier 3. So I am going to need this belt to carry on further down like this. Okay, so but that's good for that's tier 1 and 2's slides made. I now need to push them through the orrery things to process them. So back to get some more scaffolding. I go. I sometimes wonder if I should pick up all these meteorites and use the ore in them, and then I go, oh, I can't be bothered. Is that all? Oh, my inventory's full of rubbish. Yeah, I know there's no station providing cryonite slush is okay. No station providing the uranium is mildly annoying, but not to be expected. Okay. More extensions. Bump. Bump. Fill the gap in. Second astrometric recipe. Do you mean? Oh, do you mean for the for making the these things? The what are they even called? Observation frames. Yes, I'm using the beryllium based one rather than the steel. Yeah, steel based one because it's basically half the price. And I have happily I have noticed that one for once. Actually, let's lose that and that. Oops, didn't mean to lose that as well. a bit carried away. So I do need an inserter in there, and I need it to take scrap out. Scrap. No, the other side. And then this one, I'll just loop down like this. Oh, yes, I know what you mean. So that, yeah, they've got this one, and this one. Yeah, well, I'm going to be using this one because I haven't got to this stage yet. I haven't got the. I need to produce Astro 2 before I can produce that. However, once I do, I shall feed them back and start trying to produce it from these as well. Okay, so I'm doing the. What even are you? X-ray. So I've got those. I want to make those. That use. Oh, so it does use an astrometrics facility. Okay. And so it needs X-ray observation frames and data cards. Okay. That I can do. And where is this in its set of things? It's the very last one. Okay, in that case, I will do this slightly more neatly. If you come out there, then I can do this, and then this. So one of these is a 4 because there's only 4 different types of fluid. 4 different types of thermofluid. Then I need to bring that up there, and it shouldn't be a problem, but I like to play safe. Then we put in an astrometrics facility. Goes there. Do you need anything exotic? No, but you do output various types of junk. So you don't need anything exotic on the input, but you do need some care and attention on the output to make sure you don't fill up my belts with rubbish. So we have junk data cards coming out on the other side, please. And we have scrap coming out. And then we have the actual thing that I want coming out here. Okay. Then we do the same thing again. Actually, better design if I have the X-ray observation data coming out here. And then that means I can do this and say, what's my next one? Or what are my next 2, actually? These ones. I want a belt that goes in here. That goes there. And that goes here. I'm just going to feed it straight in. I'll make other belts go across these instead of vice versa. Then you can do microwave data. No, you can't. Oh, I suppose you can. All right. It's a bit of a shame. I'll have to do this with a second belt. Oh, but they need lots of them. Okay, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split these off. And take the... Where even are these things? Not in science. Oh, here they are, down here. Pale blue? No, I wanted orange. Orange, yes, orange first, just for no real reason. Did that. Pick up all these. Put them in here, I suppose. Have some outputs. Morning, Mark. Oh, what's getting blown up? Oh, it's a wall on Norvis. I don't care about that. I find that surprising. How can there be no... My trains must be busy on Norvis. I'll worry about that in a bit. Okay, so you are going to go like this. And go underground. come up here. Yes, that works. If I do that, those will be guaranteed to go onto the other side of it. Oh, that's horrible. I feel bad. But not bad enough to not do it. Uh, oh wait, this is going to need to be a splitter as well. Then we'll have these ones coming in along here. Like that. Oh dear. A bit more land space, please. Then we can have another one of these. I'm surprised chat isn't screaming abuse at me for my dirty build methods, but I'll take what I can get. So this is cyan, which is that one, so I'm doing UV at the moment. I need another. Oh, this is supposed to do a filter out the orangish ones, microwave. To the left, yes, that's good. Then I can make a copy of this. In fact, I can make a copy of at least this much of it. And say, you're actually, no, you'll stick with the cyan. I'm not even sure which one's which, I'm just calling them naming them by colours. That's UV apparently. This one is going to be, okay, and what's next on the... What do you mean by making sense? I mean, they are all... If you told me they were in spectrum order, I would happily believe you, but I'm not quite familiar enough with the electromagnetic spectrum to automatically know exactly, to know which order they're in and to go, oh yes, that's probably right. Although the fact that cyan is one of them is slightly odd because, well, I don't know, it's not one of the traditional colours on the spectrum. Probably. Right, let's copy that bit. Actually, I only need that much of it, I think, because this is the last one. Also, this should be 1 square further over. I mean, yes, this time I could have spaced it out a little bit more so that it would have worked more neatly, but I'm not gonna. That goes there? Yeah. And then we need... Do I care which way around these go? Probably not. I think that's probably the logical way to do it, though. And you're doing yellow. You're doing green. Green for visible makes sense. Because most visible light is very heavily green, and I suppose it's the one in the middle, so yeah. UV being yellow, I suppose. Yeah, I guess, yeah, so I suppose that is slightly that way. No, hang on. Infrared being yellow, so that's what I actually meant, just not what I said. Promise. Okay, so you need to be yellow. Yeah, and it makes sense. When you said there was a pattern to it, it's what I assumed, and it made sort of sensible. It made sense that way around. You're green. That can't be green, can it? It can be green. I've obviously already set that up. Interesting. Right. Yeah, I think the central split is nice. What is less nice, and in fact could be fixed very, very easily, is that bit. If I then put this coming in here, now it's less disgusting, and I'm happy with it. It was the extra bit of belt in at the bottom there that was sort of gross and upsetting, and just a bit not very nice design. Oh, hang on. I didn't want to do that. Oh, it's not in the memory. It's not in the buffer anymore. Stupid thing. That was cyan off to the left. The other left. Stage left. There we go. I fixed the aesthetics. Don't know what's going on up there. I'm not going to go. Oh no, that's something else. That's the previous type of thing going on. Okay, now I need to run power all the way up here. So I guess there. Is this going to be enough? Will it reach? No, I'm going to leave my. Oh, actually, yes. If I put it in the lower half of each one, then it does reach. Nice. Oh, except the poles don't. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, foiled. Yeah, I've seen it disappear from the buffer at other times when I expected it not to as well, and it's mildly annoying each time. Okay. Yeah, substations would be good. That's one of the things I've been doing energy science for, so I can make the pylon substations, which are massive and therefore better. But I haven't yet, so you know. Pylons are. Oh yeah, true. I could make just generic pylons. I have a bad habit of just being a bit lazy about that sort of thing and going, well, I suppose I could make these next generation, but I've got these ones already that I've been using for ages, and they seem to just work fine, so I'm going to carry on. And that's kind of dumb, but I do it anyway. Let's have some more cooling power up here. How much of this do I... Okay, if I do that... Does it tessellate? Is tessellate the right word? It's close enough. Let's just do that. There we go. They all seem to be running, so I'm reasonably convinced they're in the right place. Still not making this cold thermofluid fast enough, though. This is clearly going to be where the other part of the challenge is for this build. I've doubled that, and it's still not. It's maybe going up slightly. I'm going to put another 2 in. I'm not going to use that much of this, though. Scaffolding, that's the word I'm looking for. Oh, I've missed out a pylon. Okay, there we go. Tripled it. That is, yeah, that's... Well, it's gone up from 100, and it's, yeah, that's definitely going up. It'll stop going up as soon as I put any more stuff in down here, which I'm basically about to do, because I'm going to come down here and go, oh, none of this is fast enough. But, yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, that's using the wrong one. You're supposed to be green, not cyan. Just put them back in here. And the yellow ones can go back in here. Just because this is the easiest way to get rid of this stuff at the moment. I want to empty my inventory of all this rubbish, though. You, that one, yes you are. Yellow, that one? Yeah. It's amazing how much junk you end up with in your pockets. Have that, and have that, and what was the... That even was the right one. Amazing. Somehow I've got 30 astrometric... Oh, that must have been from when I ripped up the supply of it in the other side, all the other telescopes and things. That's a good question about beacons. Actually, I'm looking in the wrong place. Bacon. That one. Wide area bacon. It's another energy 2 apparently. So I've got the yeah, inventory even distribution is nice. Except I find it often gets rid of stuff you don't want to get rid of. It's installed on our Industrial Revolution playthrough. Come and join us on Mondays. So I've used it a little bit, but I find I often want to get rid of some of the junk in my inventory, but not all of it. Some of it is actually useful junk that I want to hang on to. Although looking at my inventory at the moment, I'm not quite sure what that would be that I'm referring to. Okay, this is now essentially working. In fact, it is working. There's no essentialities about it. It is genuinely, except this one. Why are you sad? It's because I've not put a. No, you've got an output for that. You've not got it. I've not put. There we go. Now it'll work. God, even the animation's slow on that thing. Actually, that said, it doesn't take that long to run, although it does only produce one frame each time. Okay, so now I believe they're all working. These ones are backed up, that's why they've stopped. That's fine. Now I just need to deal with the junk coming out of the outputs. So like this one. So where's the railway? The railway's there. Okay, so I could put my junk station here, I suppose. Oh, true. Yeah, I suppose so. The big problem I've been having with space exploration over and over again is that what I want in my inventory keeps changing. So sometimes I'll want, well, yeah, it varies a lot depending on exactly what I've been up to. So it's slightly tricky. Ooh, have I already blueprinted this? What on earth are you? Oh no, that's a that's that. No, I haven't got the blueprint. So what I actually want to have in my inventory changes frequently enough that I feel if I went in and tried to set it up, it wouldn't really help very much. Put that there. Buildy buildy. I don't want to let this blueprint out of my hand in case I lose it. Have I run out of... Goodness sake, I've run out of thing again already. Yes, that thing. This is the most frustrating thing about playing in space, is just needing scaffolding all the time and never having enough of the stuff. Right. Nope. Blueprint. There's an extra one in here. Must be that one. Don't care about this. Oh, it's a normal station. That's what? Why am I struggling with the control system? Okay, so I need another station. So let's go back and get some more scaffold, and I can pick up the parts for a station, which appears to be iron and steel, and also for one of these, which is copper. Yeah, I have that one. I have one of those on Norvis. I've just not been organised enough to have one of those up here yet. It's probably a good idea. I'm trying to. The thing is, I guess it comes down to a lot of the stuff you need when you're building up here is fairly specific to the area you're in. So when I was doing the energy science, I needed lots of these particle accelerators, for example. Where was the box I was putting these in? I have no idea. Now I need lots of telescopes and stuff like that. So there are common stuff, of course, like the enormous quantities of this stuff I need. But there's also a certain amount of time when I'm going, actually, I don't need wrong way. There's also been quite a lot of time when I've been going when I want specific things for a specific job, and that's what I keep forgetting. So yes, having a construction train with all of the stuff in it would actually probably be quite useful. Whether I'm not sure I'd want to just dump stuff into it though, because it would just disappear. Yeah, I've actually done that. I've got bar number 1 is stuff from the planet, so I've got the normal belts, mines, and stuff like that. And then 3 is the stuff for in space, and 2 is the stuff that's supposed to be the stuff that's for both, although there's a couple of exceptions in there. Well, that reminds me, I do need to put a radar down. Yeah, it's the inventory management more that I was sort of grumbling about, I think. What did I need? I needed one of them, and I need one of them. Actually, let's not build quite so many when I don't need them. Oh. Alright, that was foolish. That's true, yeah. It would be nice to have construction bots all the way out here. It hasn't been realistic to build them all the way out here yet, because with just using roboports, it'd be an enormous pain. Ah. Oh, that is a huge advantage. Yes, that would be rather nice. As you saw just then, as I was trying to put that one down, it's a little bit irritating having to have the platform down. It's fiddly trying to put platform down for little things like pylons or roboports, and the same goes for landfill if you're not in space as well. So yeah, it would be quite useful to not need that. So that's contaminated. This is normal. Scrap, 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 scrap. Your scrap. And so are you. I'm not convinced that slightly narrower piece of bus in the middle of there was a good idea anymore, because it makes it slightly fiddly and awkward to put things onto it. Okay, and then we need this same for data cards. It's linked up. It's linked up. Good. So we need the same for the junk data cards as well now. So another belt going along here to somewhere, but that's going to be an actual LTN station. There's no junk data cards are first coming from here. Okay. So I'll probably put the station for collecting the junk data cards in here. What? Oh, I've got that. That's wrong. What are you outputting? You're outputting infrared observation data. You're filtering on frames. Goodness sake. Have I made that mistake everywhere? No, I haven't. Just there, apparently. Right, there we go. That's better. This is going to be tricky. I suppose it can come out there and then go like this. Like that. Then we have the same down here. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. About there. What are you complaining about still? Why is it saying... Alright, I'm going to have a look at that, because I want to know why it's complaining about there being no trains available on Norvis. Because, you know, I have this depot thing here full of them. Have I got some sort of weird setup on this on that station? What? No. Yeah. I'm in the right place anyway. Right, here. This one. Network 1. Provide. Okay. Oh, it's network 8, apparently. See if that immediately causes a train to appear. I'm confused. Looks like I've screwed up networks somewhere. What are other things on? You're an 8. You're 8. Why are you 1? Where did I copy that from? I have no idea. But on the plus side, that means I've now got a train of uranium made, which is nice. I've been waiting for that for about 1,000,000 years. There it comes. Yay. 25,000 even. Wow. I'll have a rocket going up in no time. Of course, it's all loaded into the first chest for each one, but oh well. It just means it's a bit slower to load. I don't care. Not even going to watch it. Right. Disposal of other unwanted stuff. Like that piece of track. And then we need another one coming out here. Like that. And I'm going to have to extend this yet again. A little bit more planning ahead would probably help, but apparently not. Apparently I don't do that. I think it's because this is how far I can see off the bottom of the thing that I'm standing on. Oh yeah, you're right. I might as well try and keep them lined up. Why are those being damaged? What? Oh, I know why those will be being damaged. They'll have had a rocket crash. That's annoying. It's probably going to be the vulcanite one, because it always is. Oh, maybe not. Seems to be okay, actually. This is a problem with space exploration. But when you see a warning that something's being destroyed or something has been destroyed, by the time you switch to the right planet and selected it, or tried to go to select it, it's often stopped flashing. So I've no idea what was getting blown up then. I guess maybe it'll get fixed automatically. Maybe I'll just have to wait and see when I go and find something that isn't working. No rocket crashed here, nor here. Yeah, I don't know. I just leave myself drifting lonely in space. I think that's right. Yeah. Now I've already made a junk memory card pickup. Okay, maybe it was biters then. In which case, whatever it was they attacked was probably perfectly capable of defending itself or repairing itself afterwards. Yeah, that's true. I probably should. But even so, it's still the sort of even if I set a hotkey, there's still the frustration of it flashing up and going away very, very quickly. I've got far more than I need there. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just wondering actually if I should put this on the other side, but I think at the moment I'm taking up this. This is being this is being a sufficiently large build that I don't feel the need to try and sort of compact the stations down at all. Whereas the energy science, I think there was fewer processes, perhaps. Is that all of it? Okay, it's all of it. The energy science felt like fewer processes, but they were more complicated and possibly more difficult for each one. Whereas this feels like it's all very, very simple stuff. There's just an enormous number of these machines in an enormously long column to get it to work. Right, more scaffolding going across here. So yeah, because of that, it's going to stick out a long way into space. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't care. I'm just going to lean into it and have it be a massive construction. I did wonder about that as I was getting stuck on belts as I was building it, and I was considering having a look at the speeds they go at, but I think this is 5 seconds. These are about 5 seconds, and these are about 1 per second. So you'd want to have one of these manufacturers feeding about 5 telescopes, and each telescope feeding one orrery astronometrics facility, which doable. Could do that. I'm not, as you might have noticed, but I mean it could be done. Why is there that one is wrong as well? That should be not a filter but a card. What's the orange one, which is that one. Glad I noticed that in time. Just so that's dead card. Oh, I clearly missed putting him on the scrap feeds here. Right, there we go. All of the waste products are now being dealt with. So that means I can bring this over here and this over here, like that. Ah, it's all wrong. There isn't room to do anything particularly clever here. However, there might be room to do something slightly cleverer here. I want it to be on the inner side, so do that, and that, that. You know how they say if it's a stupid idea but it works, it ain't stupid. I'm not sure I believe that. Especially as it didn't work, because I'm dumb. No, I want to get it on the other side. Okay, so oh yeah, do that like this. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Run them back through the machine to make sure it's done correctly. Right, there we go. 2 of them done. Here's the next 2. This will be a bit easier because there's a bit more space at this point. So I can do this. Yeah, okay. I suppose it depends how. Maybe the saying is supposed to be an implied. Think about how stupid it is and things like that. I don't know. Right, that's my 5. So that means, having a look at here, we've got these 3 and these 2. So basically, all the ones that are made from the plate things for the for the first two astronomic sciences. So that means I can now do this through the second level recipe. But I still need to produce these two in order to get the actual stage 2 science data card. Okay, that's all right. Just means I need to. I mean that's convenient because I've got all these things together. So now it'd be convenient to make them into the astronomic science input doohickey thing. Yes, words. I word good me. So let's have a look. So I'm using not that one, this recipe. Okay, so we put in all of those and blank data cards, and we get out, and all we get out is astrometric data. That seems fine. That's 3 belts of input, 1 belt of output. It takes 10 seconds. 1 of each of those, 10 of those. So the things that it requires the most of are the blank data cards and the outputs. So those should be the near belts, and the other ones should be the far belts. There isn't room there, I don't think. Is that lined up? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so output is one of the near ones. Then we've got 1 input, 2 inputs. The near input has to be this one, along with this. What I'm going to do here is bring it across this height, because then I can shove it straight onto the belt there, and that's going to be much easier. Like that. There we go. So that goes in there. This, I guess, then goes underneath to make things simpler, because then I can do that. Delicious spaghetti. And this one comes down here and goes in here. Okay. I don't even need... I don't need fast inserters. I'm going to use stack inserters anyway for those. And then longs for those. You are to make these through the second one, which is that one. Good. Coolant. Can't put that there. Really can't put it there. There we go, that'll do. Can't put that there. Oh, can't. I forget about the all the pipe work needed sometimes. Okay, so which are you? You are the medium cold, which is this one. Actually, I'll bring this one down as well while I'm at it. Typical. I could pick up the whole thing and move it down 1 square, but no. Just no. 9 and 5 is 14. How about this one? How far over are you? 8, so I'll make a 7. Alright, 7. 9. No. There we go. Oh, that is a 3. I was looking at the numbers the wrong way around. Right, that should be everything for this. How full is it? Let that churn around for a bit, and yeah, okay. So we've got yes, the output is coming out here. Good. Now, it's just occurred to me, frustratingly, that actually all of these need to just carry on further because I need to turn them all into the actual data that they're supposed to be. So I'm going to need to force splitters in here somehow. So this one's not too bad. I can put that there. Put in a splitter there and underground like that to get that one out. This one's really easy. Just put that there and rotate that. This one, to be honest, this one, let's put that in here. Let's say I want the memory cards to go out to that side. Then I can put this one on the same belt. There we go. And then it's just, where is it? This one. No, that one's done. This one. Which I'll just do like that. Pretty straightforward. Okay, there's my 6 basic memory cards for this point. Or at this point, rather. What do you mean? Bring blank memory cards after this. I don't need blank memory cards further down here, I don't think. So I'm just... Or you say, oh, you think I need them? Do I need them for one of the later things? That's possible. For one of these things. No, these don't. They just take they use the memory card from the astrometric data. Just that one often doesn't work. Oh, you mean I could have brought the tiles in here? Yes, I suppose I could. Never mind. It's to an extent it's built now and it should work. So I kind of don't want to fiddle with it too much. I do want to finish this railway line off down here though, because I've just noticed it purple on the map, and otherwise I'm just going to get a train having a confusion and probably then causing me a confusion as well. Right, that's that one. So the next things are the 2 gravitational datas. Those are made in the blue orreries. Like so. And in order to sort of save parts, I'm going to there. I'm going to just pull off the astrometric data rather than fill up a belt with unused stuff. I then need a blue thing there, and okay, I thought the other one was in one of these as well. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's in the other type of orrery. This is also going to spit out all kinds of random junk. What do you? It's just junk memory cards actually. That's not so bad. Memory cards is this one. This row. Like so. But I need to tell it what to actually output on that side or I'll feel silly. Like that. Put that there. And then I do the same again, but I need to look up what machine I actually need to use for the other gravitational science. Oh, it was the laser facility, I remember. Pretty sure. Which, of course, is the one of the things I don't have with me. Let's just make sure. All right, good night. Sweet dreams, etc., etc. And yeah, I'll say there'll be plenty more streams to come, videos and all that as well. So drop in and see what you think. And yeah, I hope it makes more sense in the cold light of day. What time is it now? It's about 9:30 over here. Okay, yeah, that's another. I reckon I can fit in another hour of play before thinking about bed. Up here, I had a box somewhere that I unloaded my inventory into, saying let's just put down all of this stuff that I'm not using at the moment because it's all used for the now this is the one that was all for the underground stuff, all for the on-planet stuff. Oh, I remember, it was over the energy science because they were all energy science type buildings. So I thought let's put them down with in the energy science area. So now I actually need some of them. Let's come back up here and get them again. There it is. Laser, there's only one anyway. Oh well. I mean, to be honest, one is as much as I need for the time being so that I can get it set up and make it work. I say make it work. Try and make it work. Make it and hope it works. Actually, let's flip that round and put that there. Because then I can do what I did previously. I think. Yeah, and then have two of them feed onto the same thing without getting the actual useful output products stuck together. Actually, I could have anyway, because in fact I want to anyway, because then they'll be on opposite side. They'll be on the same belt but on opposite sides of it. So that's actually more sensible. So you are to make that one. This takes coolant, of course it does. Produces lots of junk data cards, but also sometimes produces gravity waves. Okay. If I'm doing that, can I bring this one over as well? I mean, I could bring it down here, but that's terrible. I could move the entire thing down a square again. Let's do that. And then I can put in another one of these, like that. Have that go there. Have that go there. And then there and there. Swap that over. There we go. And own power. Can I cross all of those in a mighty bound? Yes. Excellent. One, two, three, four, and then 5. 5 belts of data and datary goodness. Phew. Right, now I need to start thinking about turning those into the actual catalogues. Have I got these set up sensibly so that they're... Yes, I actually have. That's convenient. These 3 belts are for the tier 1, and then these 2 belts are for tier 2. That can't be right. There should only be 2 belts for tier 1. Oh, I've got green on 2 places. How have I managed that? Why is green on 2 belts? Okay, where's green coming from? That's the first question. Here. So green comes out here on this one. goes up into here, for sure. Comes down here. And out here. Goes onto here. So why is there green on this belt? And what is this belt? Oh! Oops. Ah! This belt should not be a thing. There we go. Right. So, these two belts are for tier 1, these two belts are for tier 2, and that makes a lot more sense. And why isn't this running? Oh, coolant, of course. Am I going to even get that out? Well, yes, I'll just have to dig up some of these belts. Okay. What temperature is this? Minus 273, the really cold stuff. Which, of course, I've not used for ages, so it's all the way up here. Actually, let's start from the bottom with this. Or at least from the place where it needs to interfere with other pipes. Because there's a little bit of flexibility at the top where I have the underground pipe pop back up again. So I can do that. Will it reach? No, of course it won't. It's almost like playing Pipe Mania. Oh, what? Oh, phooey. It produces a different. It produces the warm, but the cool, but not cold. Ah, it's wrong, 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 wrong. That's annoying. So that'll be there in that case. And then I've got to take this all the way up north forever, approximately. For some reason, I thought I'd done all of the recipes that required the that particular thermofluid, but apparently not. This would be so much more awkward without the long pipes to stop them connecting to each other on the way up. Oh, but that won't quite fit. Okay. Well, I guess that's a way to make it slightly more complicated. I mean, it's not. I have to admit, it's not too bad. I can deal with this reasonably easily. That's 15. That's an 8. Okay. I can deal with it without too much difficulty. It's just mildly annoying having to run the pipe all the way back up again. There we go. Right, so that's that output in, and then we have this one down here. Comes up here. That, and link it in. There we go. Now it's running. Yes. I'm not quite sure what's going on over here. It looks like bubbles, but I don't know what bubbles have to do with the laser facility. Maybe it's keeping the laser cool. Right. After all that, I can now start thinking about actually putting these together and making some real honest to goodness science. Woohoo! So, 2 belts of input. Let's put it there so I've got a bit of space. There we go. So inserters, 1 belt here, 1 belt here, 1 belt here, out belt here. Oh wait, there's only 2 inputs. Never mind. 2 input belts, rather. And doubtless there's going to be some coolant as well in this, but... Right, so... Astronomic Catalogue 1, yes, that one. It needs a different coolant to this, because of course it does. Otherwise I could have just piped it down across, but never mind. It needs the one that's in this gap here that we haven't brought down here yet. And then of course it blows out the warm stuff. Then we're going to need something similar here. Doing the tier 2 Astro catalogues. Yep. Flip that round, I can have it. Flip it around, make a bit more space. I can put that in the middle. Because then we can have a pipe run up the middle like that, and then just do it like this. Easy. Still need the cold, of course, but that's... I'll get there. And an output. Yeah, I'm going to do the input fluids the same way, I think, here. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why I'm doing it like this, given the other ones I've done, sort of running along the edge of the machines. But just doing whatever. I suppose I'm just doing whatever feels like it makes sense at the time, and that probably isn't the best way to design a system. Right. Although I could link this from here. I don't know if I like that better or worse. It feels slightly easier because there's one fewer places to hook up to the awkward pipes, but you know, I don't know. It'll do. Then we've got this comes out here to here apparently. Oh, I suppose it's allowed to go there. Can I squeeze underneath there? Yes, I can. And one of them in there, excellent. And then down there. Is that right? Yes, that is the right. Yes, that is the right temperature. Good. And then this one. I'm glad I've put them in a sane order this time. It makes it a bit easier to remember which fluid is which when they're in temperature order. Okay, that's now has everything. They now both have everything they need. They're just a bit short of the thermofluids. Phew. Right. So we now have the top 2 Astro catalogues. That means, in theory, I can start now trying to produce all of the some of the sciences. Here we have my Science Butterfly of Doom, which is missing some of the it's missing the sort of the exotic materials that are put into each one, but it shows how the catalogues and insights and things flow around. So we can now with the first 2 of the first 2 catalogues, we can make the insights of both energy and Astro. We can make their insights in a slightly more efficient way, and because we've got the two different insights at that point, we can carry on making the significant data in the slightly more efficient way that uses um, two different science insights instead of just one. I've now got a choice. I can either carry on with the trying to make bio 1 and 2 and material 1 and 2, or I can go, that'll do, let's go and actually make some science with these. And I think I'm going to go for the latter and start making some actual science, because if I can research up Astro 3 and Energy 3, then I can build those fairly easily. And I can then start thinking about, well, Astro 4 certainly isn't too bad apart from so Astro 4 isn't too bad apart from needing to head off to the asteroid fields in order to launch these things. To get this one. Other than that, it's generally okay. I haven't really looked into energy up to energy 4, energy 3 and 4 yet, but I'm imagining they're probably not going to be too bad at this point. Yes, I see what he did there as well. I kind of wish I hadn't, but I do. Let's go and sort out this thermo shortage first, though, because there's a shortage. And that's what Factorio is about. You find the shortage and you go and hit it with a hammer until it stops being a shortage. So it looks like it's this very first stage here. These coolers just are insufficiently cool. Or insufficiently rapidly cooling, I don't know. And to be honest, I should have known I was going, and in fact I did know I was going to need to extend this when I extended these ones down here, because it's more load on the same supply without adding any extra supply in. So let's put some more of these in like this. And let's pull up some of this so that I can actually finish that one off. Smaller. Oop, that'll do. Okay, is that... Well, I'm not going to know if that's enough for this much time, because it takes a long time to push it through. But, oh well. Oh, and it's interesting. Oh, I was going to say that's interesting. We're ripping through the thermofluid quite quickly. We're actually not so much. It's more of the it's more that the I'm building up more and more tanks and just more places to put it. So it's not actually getting destroyed. Well, it is getting destroyed, but not particularly quickly. It's more that it's getting used up and therefore dragged further into the system and therefore and so used up. That should be a double tank over there, because the whole point of this is that you wait until there's room for until it's half full and there's room for a second tank's worth, because because the train and the tank is the same size. It doesn't seem to have mattered on this particular occasion because it was able to just shove it straight out into this pipe, but that could have been a problem. Okay, that's okay now. There's some random belt here. Let's pick that up. Not sure what that was doing there. Probably an earlier mistake or something. So how are we doing now? This is... we're actually filling up surprisingly quickly as I watch. That's impressive. This one is not. This one is full. Interesting. I guess we're not using very much of the super chilled. Now that these are... now this one's got some in it, that's going down again reasonably quickly as these pump it through, but they're pumping it into here. So... maybe? And it's when all of these finish in quick succession, they all just dump straight into this, and that fills it up really, really quickly. Oh, I don't know. This doesn't look like enough, but then also nor does this. But then, when these finish, you get a sudden flood of it through. Let's leave it for now. I'll probably come back and add more onto it relatively soon, especially as I expect I'm going to need to add more of all of these. Basically, probably of all of this at some point fairly soon. The exception seems to be the X-ray ones. Those are those X-ray? I think they're X-ray. Yeah, they seem to be holding up pretty well, but I think that's actually more due to a shortage of the other things than to a suitable supply of the X-ray ones. Right, I guess, yeah, I mean, looking at this, I've made 4 of these. That's not really the sort of numbers we're looking for. Right, let's see. The next thing to do then is to set up a station or 2 stations. I did 2 stations for up here for picking up the catalogues. I could probably put in. Yeah, I could probably fit in 2 stations in this sort of area here without any difficulty. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of extra stuff being pushed down here, so I think that'd be okay. Higher tier sciences. What empty memory card buffer? Do you mean? I mean each of my science areas has a empty memory card buffer in its input stations, and when a train's just been, there's going to be thousands in there. And then the rest are all on the belt. So if we look now, for example, this one has 1400 in it, plus 400, so there's 1800 blank memory cards in these 2 chests, plus a huge number along here. Right. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, for the satellite, the asteroid probe satellites for Astro Tier 4. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So I guess once I get to that point, I'll pump a rocket full of a large number of the memory cards. I'll probably. I don't know exactly what an asteroid probe requires. I was sort of going to worry about that a little bit nearer the time. Yeah, so I imagine I'll probably put a rocket together with this lot times n, where n is probably, I don't know, whatever will fit in a rocket, and to try and get the proportions about right. So we can send. So I can just send and some rocket parts as well to bring it all back again. So I'll send that rocket off to the asteroid fields with everything in it that it needs to build the. Oh, actually, no. I'd build these. What am I talking about? I'd build these probes locally as well, and then send off a rocket with a number of these probes and whatever's required to launch them. And then so make the asteroid belt, the base in the asteroid fields, as small as possible, and just do everything here because I've already got all of the infrastructure. Yeah, I see what you mean though. At some point, I'm going to need to stock up on an enormous number of those cards somewhere. That can probably wait a bit, I think, though. Right, I'm going to upset who is it who had the OCD? Peter, he's gone. That's all right. Okay, I can do this without him crying. I can also run out of parts halfway through. That's annoying. There's a good reason for doing it though, so or at least there's a reason for doing it. So hopefully it won't be quite so upsetting. Right, so up here I'm going to take all the default stuff that they just bring out anyway. I'm going to take a load of this because I've run out, and I'm going to take more railway. That was the thing I came over here for. Wow, there's a lot of space rail here. Take lots of it. Put some more of this. Put this in here because I don't know what else to do with it. And then let's get some more of this because I need to fill my inventory up. I might as well fill my inventory up with stuff. Where did I get that single cylinder engine from? Maybe that's just been in my inventory the whole time and I've not noticed it. Yeah, I'm aware there are going to be enormous numbers of white cards of the memory cards just in general. They'll be whether they're locked up in various types of science, whether they're in buffers here, there, and everywhere. There's going to be an enormous number of those required for basically everything. I'm pretty much resigned to that. I'll yeah, deal with it. Right. Okay, so I need 2 of these stations. So I need 1 there, and then I need that won't. It'll fit if I get rid of the pylon. Oh, don't need that. Don't need that. Let's go the other way. Which one was it? That one? No. That one. That one. Right, so as I'm sure you can imagine, this is for the that's a bit okay. I'll tidy that bit up a bit like that. Um, and then have this one come out to join that again like that. This, as you can imagine, is to take the catalogues away. So that's going to be reasonably easy to line up. Belt up, sorry, to run the belts over to. I thought I might as well do it like this because they're really, really close together. The place the two belts are coming. Unlike with the materials, not the material, the energy science, the places where the sets of belts are coming out are really, really close together. So I thought I might as well. That's probably. Oh no, these are pickup stations, so those don't need to be deprogrammed before I put them down. That's all right then. Does that reach? That does reach. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to have that come in there. We need this too wide going across there. Ooh, like that. I do like that you can pick the space scaffold back up again. It makes a nice change from the landfill, which you can't. Robot attrition is a thing it's sort of there to discourage you from using bots too much on certain planets and in space. Basically, it means that through essentially electromagnetic interference with the between the bots and the sorry. When you're in space, there's a lot of electromagnetic interference around, and that causes interference with the bots and can cause them to spontaneously crash occasionally. It doesn't happen. I mean, it happens infrequently enough that you can use bots for sort of personal logistics supplies and that sort of thing. But it also, but it's it makes, but again, on the flip side, it happens often enough that you don't really want to be using them for your main logistics. What have I done here? It's better. Yeah, so you don't want to be using them for your main logistics because they will every so often a bot will crash, and when you have an enormous number of them in the air all the time, every so often becomes surprisingly frequent. So in this particular case, I've got well, I set up this system here originally where my rockets would come in with all of the stuff loaded into them to supply my to supply the space station. It would then get unloaded by these inserters into this purple warehouse, which is an active provider. So then it tries to push everything out of it. So we then get the logistics bots flying in, grabbing out of there and moving them into all the yellow chests, and then moving from there into these chests that loaded stuff onto the belt. And I lost quite a lot of bots through that. I don't actually know how many because I don't think it counts them in the losses here. Let's see if it does. Oh, maybe it does. So I've lost 1,400 logistics bots, and I suspect that's probably mostly due to robot attrition. Um, if your transport drones mod and the space exploration mod have been written with each other in mind, and I know a lot of Factorio mods are written to sort of work nicely with other big mod packs, then it's quite possible you'll find your transport drones also crash um, when they're from robot attrition as well. I wouldn't like to say for sure whether they do or not. You need to check that in the mod settings, but it would, in order to maintain the balance of the mod, it would make sense for that to happen. As I say, I have no idea whether it does or not, but it would make sense. Yes, and as Mark says, there is research you can do that makes them less likely to explode when they crash, or makes them not explode and damage things when they crash. They still crash, but it makes them less likely to explode. And that research has various tiers of it. This one, in fact, so swarm safety. So in this case, it's 500 bots per level. So in this case, I have level 7 of it. So if I have 3.5, I can have up to 3,500 bots in a network on a planet that suffers from robot attrition, and I won't have issues. You can also check by looking in the Universe Explorer to see how bad it is. So On Norvis, there's a robot attrition level of 1, which means basically none. I mean, I haven't noticed losing robots on Norvis, but maybe I am. I just haven't noticed it because it's so slow. Up here in orbit, it's just under 7, and then on all of the planets all the moons I've colonized, it's been about 10. That's as high as it gets, 10 apparently. So I guess that's probably a balance thing. These planets are particularly good from a biter point of view, so I guess they're particularly bad for bots. If I flip it over, then the planets that are safe for bots are then often quite bad for biters. Although that's just an asteroid belt. I don't know what's wrong with this planet. What's there to make it harder? I suppose it's just got oil on it, which is less useful. So yeah, you've got that sort of balance of things to worry about in there. Okay, these two are running reasonably happily. I don't have enough green coming through. That's visible, I think. Why is that? It's because there aren't enough of those. Is it because I've stolen a load of them? It is to an extent, but only a very, very small extent. I should fly down here and put all of the cards in the machines that will take them, like that. Empty my inventory out a little bit. That's better. I feel about a stone lighter. You can have all the memory cards. You can't have the dead memory cards. You can have the dead memory cards. There we go. Okay. What's this? Oh yes, green ones. Why are there fewer greens coming through? Is it because it's at the bottom of the chain and there aren't enough thingies being made? No, there's more than enough of the blank frames. I don't know why this one would be running slower. Do these take longer? 5-second crafting time. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, they're all the same. Maybe it's just there's more of a buffer has built up of the others, and we're all just using them all as... No, but... Is this machine running flat out? I think so. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's just that I had a bit more of a buffer of the other ones. The green... They're not being used but any more than anything else by this. I don't know why there's a shortage of green ones. I'm going to not worry about it. Oh, it's active plot. Okay, that makes it a bit even easier. So to be honest, robot attrition, the swarm safety research is relatively unnecessary. Perhaps it's a slightly strong word, but it's almost true. In that you have to have a really, really big, heavy bot-centric network. Oh, some of them do take different quantities of frames. That's a good point. Let's check that out. Green takes... Sorry, that's cyan. Takes 10. Yellow takes 10. Green takes 12. Good call. That'll be why then. Let's put in an extra green telescope. I don't know how big to make this. I'll do. Because I need this pipe and I need this pipe. I sort of tend to think of things in Factorio as coming in blocks of 3, so I'm going to do that. But not those ones. I tend to think in these blocks of 3 because that's what with a normal size machine that's like 5 squares across like this, you can run 5. You can run 3 off a single power pole. Why aren't they running? Not on. Okay, I'm still short of coolant. Okay, in that case, I think I'm just going to balance this by the OO method of just going in and no, there's a technical term for it that makes it sound a bit better than just describing it as the OO method. Statistical term where you work it out empirically rather than numerically. That's the term. That's the expression I was looking for. What? Oh, okay. I've got a feeling that isn't going to be enough. I'll just put more in. Of both, actually, come to think of it. 4. And sure, have one more. That one. Oh, I've run out of hypercoolers. Oh well, never mind. I did manage to put quite a few more in before I actually ran out, so that one's still absolutely fine. The two, I mean, I could pull up one of these, I suppose. They seem to have far more than I need to. I have no cool, and no cold, and lots of hot. Okay. This is probably going to summon another trains load in a minute. Is it minus 15 I've got set here? Minus 10. Okay, so when this gets down to 10, which it nearly has, yeah, we're going to get another train load coming in soon. That's probably a good thing. I don't want to run out. I do wonder if I should have gone for one of the faster recipes for this, but the faster recipes are very lossy, and I didn't want to burn so much coolant. I guess I can just extend this even further. I haven't run out of the normal chillers yet. It's only the hypercoolers. Right, they will now fill up and then take ages to actually run. Yeah, we need to get another train load of that out here. They're very true. I mean, I could go along here already and put beacons in the slots. But yeah, that's true. I could put in another row of them along there. But then space is actually I was going to say space is unlimited. It's unlimited until I hit this track over here, and I've not put anything on this track yet, so I could move it further away if I wanted to. Have I not? Do I need more? I need more fluid trains. What are you transporting it? Okay, it's transporting the thermofluid out that I need. That's okay. It can wait. Or the oil can wait, or whatever it is that's down here that's being demanded. It's probably oil. Right, now they can all fill up. I need to put more radar down as well. Let's put a radar down up here somewhere, because I haven't yet. That'll do. Yeah, they all look like they're running. And that's still basically empty. I'm assuming at some point these are all going to finish their first run and then just dump a huge amount of fluid into the system. Still loads of electricity as well. That's good. And I saw this before. There was one of the I happened to come here along at about the time they're all about to finish. Yeah, these are all about 90% now. Well, a lot of them are at about 90%. Ideally, I'd like to stagger them. I suppose they're probably staggered well enough. So any moment now, this should go. Oh, there we go. It's gone bloop to an extent. We've got 3,500 in there now, which is a start. It's came down again quite quickly though. Okay. Yeah, maybe modules would be a good way of improving this. Just checking speed modules in all the way down. I certainly haven't hit a pipe throughput limit yet. But that seems to be at the point now where it's just about keeping up. So I'm going to assume that's okay for now. Now, interestingly, here, this is barely keeping up, I would say. No, it's actually no. I take back the barely. It's not quite keeping up. So I think I need another one of these in here. Take that. Put there. Obviously didn't get that. There we go. Right, that seems to be everything. Yeah, there we go. So now it's an extra 50% on there. That should be enough. Let's watch this, make sure that this goes back up. Yeah, the backlog is pulling upwards again now. I mean, that's probably not going to last very long. I'm going to need to expand that further because I'm about to come down here and go, oh, there aren't enough of these. This one isn't backing up. Why isn't this one backing up? And just put loads more of everything in. This is... However, that said, all of these are now starting to back up. That's good. This one... Don't make me laugh. Not even slightly. Oh, that was convenient. That lined up perfectly with this one. You need to be there. And therefore that needs to have one of those there. And like there. Pipe, 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 pipe. Do the same. Is that running? Yes, it is running. Now I've doubled that, but I suspect that's probably not going to be enough. I'm going to need more than... Oh, I've run out of scaffolding again. I'm going to need more than 2 of those. But let's have a look and see what else is running short before I just concentrate too much on that particular one. So that's coming down to the orreries down here. That one's fine, and has a backlog growing up here. Oh, you think it's the output limiting? You might be right, actually. That one definitely. Yeah, you're quite right. All right, I clearly don't need to. I probably didn't need that extra machine then. Oops. Let's do that and make sure that isn't going to make anything upset further down the line. I intended to design it so that, yeah, they're all sort of feeding in sideways like that, so it'll be all right. That's the end of the where it's doing these. Yeah, that is okay. Okay, good. Oh. Can't click on buttons properly. There we go. Yeah, you're definitely right. So well spotted. Okay, those are okay. These are okay. These are probably not okay, but I've run out of scaffolding for now. That's definitely okay. This one, I mean that's okay because other stuff is limiting it. I think like this one. This is keeping up with the. Yeah, this is easily keeping up with the telescope, even though there's 2 of them now. This one. There's still a shortage of... Oh no, we've now got enough green memory cards. Oh no, we haven't. Green memory cards are the ones that are lowest of. But we're producing... Okay, so we've got... These 2 computers are satisfied. Good. That's what I've been trying to look into, and not actually, you know, been using using words properly. This one, on the other hand, is missing a lot of this particular data type, and also this one. So that's the X-ray ones, which have just doubled, but that's still not going to be enough. And there's this one that's on the outside of this belt that comes from here. So it's this machine, which isn't running. Why don't you have any? Oh, you're full of. Wait, what? It's not getting rid of the cool thermofluid. Why is it not getting rid of the cool thermofluid? This is full. Oh, there we go. That's why it was failing. Stupid rage. Okay, so now that we'll give this a chance. How long does it take to actually thing? Only 2 seconds. So I reckon that's probably going to. Oh, but it's only got a 30% success rate, so it takes 6.5 seconds to actually produce something successfully. I don't have any more of these, so I won't put another one in just yet. See how it goes. So I think, okay, the 2 problem things at the moment are these big dishes because they're really slow, and this laser facility because it's really unsuccessful. It only actually works a third of the time. So let's go and get some more of those things. Laser facilities and, well, I've got 3 more of the big orange dishes. I just need the scaffolding to put them on. Now, what's making laser facilities here? Why am I even looking? Why am I not just saying, hey, bring me laser facilities? But let's get rid of some of these things that I've been accidentally summoning and don't need. There we go. Have I got my 5 laser facilities? I have. I haven't got my scaffolding. There we go. I dread to imagine how much scaffolding I've got through in the last, well, during this session. It's kind of scary. I'm glad I've been in and upgraded the recipe that's producing it. Otherwise, I'd be just starving myself completely of it. Okay. This. Oh, I'm going to need that pipe as well from the one above it. 1, 2. I might adapt this actually to run on its own level. Okay, so... Oh, in order to do that, I'm going to need to put an underground belt in here like that. That's not a problem though. And I can run a pipe through like that. Oh, none of this is going to work. Get rid of all of that. And then I need some underground pipes. What's the maximum range on these things? Okay, that'll do. Normal pipes in as well. It's a bit... One of the things that that hasn't been done quite so well with space exploration as it has been in vanilla is making sure things don't get in the way of you seeing what's going on behind them. I think virtually all vanilla buildings you can see to put what you've got going on behind them. You don't have things like this where the pipe behind it is blocked and you have to sort of guess what's going on by waving your mouse over it and looking at the highlights. I think vanilla is very, very good at avoiding that, whereas unfortunately space exploration was going for these big buildings that, yeah, they look nice and impressive, but sometimes they're a bit not quite so good for the from a gameplay point of view. Okay, that's quintupled that since I first built it. Now let's head back down to those laser facilities and do this again. Let's put it like that and they won't squabble. Yep, that looks okay. No. I'm never quite sure how careful you have to be about pushing dissimilar things up against each other on machines like this. I'm being careful about it. Normally I try to leave a bit of space, especially if there's a pipe involved, because I've seen it go wrong more than 0 times. So I want to be sure. Interesting. Now I'm using up these faster than I'm producing them. So I guess we need another one of these in here. And this is Factorio in a nutshell, isn't it? It's you find out where the bottleneck is, and you just go out and build more of that, whatever that is. That can't go there. That'll have to go there. I'm going to have the same problem down here, and therefore nothing's going to power this machine. I'll have to put that there, I guess. Ugh, hate it. Let's at least be consistent with that. Oh, alright, we'll use stacks on the inputs as well. And those. And then these need to be set to blacklist. Then they'll just grab anything that comes to hand. Okay, I have to admit I've not looked into it too carefully, but I have definitely. I feel like like for example, here, if this machine had been butted up against this pipe, I think it would have caused a problem. However, if that pipe wasn't there, I think the two machines could probably be butted up against each other and it would be okay. I am not certain of this. I've been burned by it in some way or another, and therefore I'm being careful. I wouldn't like to say for sure exactly what the rules are with that. Is there supposed to be anything on here? Yes, there is. Okay, it's still just these aren't being produced as quickly as I would like. Right, let's think about modules for these. Yeah, okay, that's how we get a decent amount of productivity out of these. Maybe I'll whack in some speed modules into these things and just get them to churn a bit quicker. Yeah, let's get some modules, and then I'll start going through and strategically placing them in the machines that are being a bit slow. And then I'll strategically place them in the efficiency modules in the machines that are being a bit hungry. And with any luck, I'll be able to come to some sort of balance of those two that works reasonably well. So let's have some of those and some of those. And I'm not going to bother with any of those because there's no point. Okay, that's interesting. I am pretty sure I've run into issues from that sort of thing, but I wouldn't like to say for certain exactly what it was that led to it. Right, let's put 2 in each of these to start with. So these are now running at 1.8, nearly double speed, and they're also using lots of power. How am I doing for power? I've still got loads of power. This is still running easily fast enough to keep up. Okay, let's put some more speed modules in them. Check the power. Power's gone up more than 10%, but sure, okay. And now look down here. Now they're coming in faster than this machine can deal with them. So assuming these are all about the same sort of amount of time, which they seem to be, they're all about 5 seconds. Not you. Yeah, they're all about 5 seconds. So I think that might be okay. We're still short of green. So let's put another one of these in. I've tried various calculators in the past. I hate them all. I'd much rather just go in and use of the do it empirically and just chuck stuff down and find the bottlenecks and put a bit more in. I have in the past in vanilla and to an extent in Angel Bobs, I've gone through and I've worked out the ratios I would need, and then I've gone and yeah, it can be done, but it's a headache, and it's not. I just can't be bothered most of the time. And this is coming from someone who has a good head for and likes maths, so yeah. And then in this a little bit for some of the things like my large builds down on Norvis, some of the things like these massive smelting arrays, I've designed them empirically in Creative Mod, so I've basically put down the number of all the machines, filled them with the appropriate modules and things, and then seen with infinite inputs, infinite sinks, and to make sure they're running at the right speed, and then just made the appropriate numbers of copies of them. So I've done that level of calculation, but I can't be. No, I'm afraid I just can't be bothered to work it out properly. It's not going to happen. Why are you not running? Because you haven't got any microwave data. Of course you haven't. Maybe I should increase the microwave data as well. this one. Yes, now actually now. Ah, there we go. That's now enough. It's spectacular, backed up spectacularly quickly. Now the nice thing is that I think as long as you don't have, if one of these machines, when it does back up and these stop running, they'll stop drawing anything like as much power because their min consumption will still drop down to 33 kilowatts, which may or may not be normal. I'm not sure, and so it should be okay. It shouldn't, as long as it backs up, it'll stop using the crazy amounts of power. Okay, that's still keeping up, just about mostly. That's okay as well. That's okay. Now let's look at the outputs. There's still a shortage from here, but I think that's just because it's playing catch up from having been the one that's been behind for a long time. And I think the same's probably true of this one. I don't know. I'm probably just going to work my way through these until they're all on 2 machines each. In fact, let's do that. One more. That's convenient because I've got 1 machine left. Right, how's this one getting on? This is the sort of a... Right, okay. So these are using up... Are these using up quite a lot? Oh no, they're only using one per time, but they run every 2 seconds, and they only produce an output a third of the time. So they are actually essentially using 3 each time. Each time they produce an output, a useful output. So that's not a serious problem, but a mild... Yeah. Down here we have 3 of the 4 packs we need. The 4th one is, oh, it's the X-ray one. That's interesting. That's the limiting factor here. So I think we're probably at a fairly good position here where we're churning the stuff out at a reasonably good rate, and the catalogue machines are basically running okay. How's my coolant doing? Still not very much cool, but we've got plenty of cold, and ooh, super cooled has gone down. That's interesting. And warm, I don't care about. Okay, so we're probably okay here. Maybe I should go up and put some speed modules in these. I'm tempted, but I'm not going to right now. Because I've just remembered that I don't think I ever set up a... no, I never set up an input on the formatting here for the dodgy data cards. So I think that's going to be my next thing to do, because I feel that's kind of important. Yeah, I say I've tried some calculators. I don't remember whether max rate is one of the ones I've tried or not, but they've all just seemed to be unpleasant to use, and unintuitive, and unlikely to actually produce the information that I want from them. So I've given up on them, basically. Sorry. What should I do here? I could have a bypass. Yeah, let's have a bypass line here. That joins. Is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be big enough. So what I want to do, let's start this again. I want to put in a curve to get it out, and then I want to rejoin here as far up as I can and still get into that station. So there, basically. And as long as I can fit in a two thing station in here, then there's actually room for it. It's a bit of a squeeze, but that's not too bad at all. So it's signal. What's that tank of thermofluid doing there? Could I just not fit it in anywhere else? I guess. What is going on here? That doesn't go anywhere. Presumably at some point I had a thermofluid drop-off station here, or was going to put one in, or that's very strange. I'm confused. However, if I do that, I must have got the thermofluid from somewhere as well. Mysteria and Mysteriouser. I was gonna say I can. Oh no, I can't stick. I can't even stick a pump in there because it's in the wrong place. Oh, I see. That sounds interesting. It might be. Actually, that might be quite good. I do already have quite a lot of mods installed, though. Not that that means I can't have more, but... Alright, I'm going to waste the thermofluid in this system. Because it's in the wrong place. And then with that, what I can do now is I can put in a tank here. The right distance out from there. And then this pump can... Hang on. What was that connected to? So that was presumably connected up to this tank and was only going to pump when it was... What on earth was I doing here? I have no idea. Right. Let's do this again, but properly. So we have 2 tanks here because that's what you need. Let's put in a third one actually so I can just link up to this pipe a bit more easily. I'm going to have to do that though, which is slightly unfortunate. And this, which doesn't fit. For goodness sake. Go, and it puts on the right, so I want to do that, and that, and that. And that'll feed into those. I'm concerned this isn't going to be enough, and I'm going to have to move this somewhere else. And I'm also concerned this isn't going to be enough, and I'm going to need more of these, and therefore I'm not going to have anywhere to put this, and that this is a bad design. But worst case, I'll put the recycling machines up here to destroy the broken memory cards, and then run the belts through a gap here. It's not the most elegant fix, but it'll work. Okay, so now we need to there. I need a couple of chests for this to unload into. And I need to set up LTN here. Now this is going to be a multiple request station, so let's just copy from there. Like so. I don't want any of this stuff. I want thermofluid at minus 10,000, which is this one. And I want Duff memory cards. I wonder how many of those I can fit in a chest. And in a train, for that matter. How many in a stack is basically my question. It annoys me that satellite view mode and map mode, or rather that map mode doesn't have all the goodies that satellite view mode does. Okay, they stack up to 50, so that's 500, 1,000, 2,000, 2,500 per chest, 2,000 per train. So I want it to summon when the train is, when there's, well, when there's, if 2,000 numbers minus 2,000. Because I want to keep this more full if possible. Okay. Power. And wire that up. That, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. I know I said earlier I don't like putting wires right across the railway lines as trip wires because it looks stupid, but I actually don't care. So what have we got coming in now? Is this the coolant or the... Oh, it's both. Awesome. I wonder which one's... Okay, that one has already produced enough junk memory cards that there's that it's summoned a train. That's interesting. I wonder how many that is. Okay, it's a couple of thousand. Or few thousand, actually. There's 2,300 in there, and yeah, so about almost 3,000. Okay, it's about time. It's a good thing I finally got that bit built up then. This is the This is the problem with this sort of station. I mean, they're nice and compact, but you end up with everything in one chest, and then it takes ages to unload it all like this. I could build up more elegant stations that use splitters and things to distribute it between the things a bit between the chests a bit more, but I've been trying to build sort of compact and neat and so on here, and as long as we don't take more than 500 seconds, it doesn't actually matter. We can just chug away at that. How long is it? How much? It's waiting for 2,000, which is a full thing, isn't it? There we go. And there's plenty of extra buffer space in those chests, because 6 chests is about 6 times the size of a locomotive. So a wagon. So we don't need to worry too much about. Why is this not? Why have you not grabbed onto there and unloaded? Oh, because I linked it up to the circuit network because I'm a muppet. I didn't mean to do that. I went along just merrily linking things together, and pumps are not one of those things you need to connect to the circuit network in a station. Oh, but the tanks are, and that's what I meant to link. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. And yeah, there's a bypass, so those little trains can shoot past like that whenever they need to. That was. I was going to say, presumably that was another load of memory cards for one of the science places. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I didn't set these up. I think it might be getting late. I'm starting to get a little bit even dippier. These need cool. Why are they being fed cold? Obviously because screwed up, but... Right, there we go. Now it's working. And hopefully this should... Yes, here we go. It produces... So the reformatting, as everyone who's plays Space Exploration already is well aware, produces more memory cards that we can carry on using, and also the broken ones that need to be recycled into scrap. And that seems to be working. It seems to be keeping up. That's so far at least. I mean, it'll probably stop keeping up once this machine... Yes, there we go. Once that happens. Because as I remember, this is quite a slow process. And it's then feeding all the scrap down into the same disposal system that I'm using down here for the... No, that's potentially a problem. I've just realised that if and when this backs up, potentially because we've got enough memory cards, the scrap isn't going to be able to get out, and it's just going to get stuck. So I think what I'm going to do here is squeeze some spaghetti in like this, and put it into the back of there, and then it'll just chuck it straight through without it having to go onto this belt first. Now the alternative would be to have it on the other side of the belt somehow. Actually, that would work. I could get rid of this bit along the middle here and just do that, because all the scrap is all the substrates going on the top side. So now I can put them on this on the bottom side. Oh no, Mo. Yeah, and that's what the VOD is for, I suppose. But yeah, I take it. Are you on the other side of the Atlantic from me then? Because 7:30 in the evening is quite a good time for me to start playing, and once it gets onto this sort of time, it's pretty much bedtime, so I can't. Yeah, I can't shift it any later, really. Still, at least there are VODs, I suppose. You don't get to be quite as involved, sadly, but you can't shout abuse at me for doing stupid things. But I mean, I think that's why everyone else turns up, because they're just like ridiculing me when I forget something obvious. But no, I'm being unfair. You're not that cruel, chat. I don't mean it. Probably deserve it, but I don't mean it. Recycling machines. It's another 5 of those. Whee! Oh, fell off again. That was not what I meant to grab and put down lots of. Let's try that again. There we go, that was the right one. I have a feeling recycling machines are one of those things that are so big that it's just difficult to get power poles to them in a sensible way. Oh no, it's not too bad. I can put it over like that. And I suppose I'll do that. I'll do that. Let's see if they can now actually keep up. Oh, I need to unmanual that because I completely forgot about it after I set it unloading. So yeah, I think my initial fear was probably correct. These are not going to be fast enough. Even with those, they're probably not going to be fast enough, and I'm going to need to move this bit, this system, up here probably, in order to put more computers in. And I could put them down here, but then there wouldn't be room for more of these when I almost certainly need them later. How's this for power, given I've just shoved some? Oh, that's okay. I think this area is now basically running almost as flat out as it ever does. I mean, it could also be producing mirrors. That's the other thing it could be doing. Oh, and material science boxes. But it's running... Most of the big stuff here, I think, is running. So, and it's not using very much of the power at all. So, well, it's using about half of it. These red solar panels are fantastic. They produce huge amounts of power. And I've only got like 10 of them here as well. Okay, so how many have we got in here? We've got only about 1,000. Well, 1,100. My question is, how many more are there to be brought over here? These need renaming. So this Astro Catalogue 2. I'm not going to ask about a wang coffin. You need to be named Scrap Pickup, otherwise no train is ever going to come out to you, because this is the one that isn't on LTN. Has it gone green? I don't know how much is in here. Not very much. Probably not then. No, definitely not then. Astro Supplies, drop off. And Astro Thermofluid, drop off. Okay, how are we getting on down here? I'm not interested in that. Oh, how are we doing over here? The ones are coming through. I think I saw a 2 just then. So yeah, in fact, both these computers are actually running. That's quite impressive. I guess these things must be coming through just quickly enough to keep them satisfied. These are both running. How long do these take, and is it different for the two different tiers? This takes 10 seconds. This takes 20 seconds. Okay, so in order to get a balanced output, I actually need twice as many of these. However, for making the sciences, I don't know. I was going to say I need twice as many of the I need twice as many of the Mark Ones as the Mark Twos, because the Mark Ones are fed into the Mark Two. Tier Ones are fed into the Tier Twos, are fed into the Tier Threes, are fed into the Tier Fours to make them. But if something requires a Tier 4 science pack, I'm pretty sure it never requires a Tier 1 science pack. It certainly doesn't usually. Yeah, if we look down here, this one, for example, uses 3 of the basic ones. It uses rocket science. It uses Tier 3 blue and Tier 2 orange. So it doesn't. Yeah, so it's not going to be using all of them. That's probably a relief. I think that's definitely a relief. Okay, so but that probably means I need another 2 of these in order to keep the pace up at the same as this one. But then that means I'm going to need another of these. I think it's this one. Yes, it is this one. The diagrams, yes. Yeah, so I started off this channel, as you I thought I was going to get run over by the train then, even though I was on jetpack. I started off this channel making videos so I'd play for a while and then make a video of the progress I'd made. And so because it was videos, I was putting in that sort of extra bit of effort and trying to make them and prettifying them and that sort of thing. So I got into the habit of making those diagrams for basically for all the different stages of whatever process I was running through at the time. Um, I've stolen all the icons. I've stolen out of the mods themselves, but yeah, I put them together into the diagram. Zone discovery, you say? Zone discovery. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes, it uses tier 1 and tier 2 at this point. Interesting. All right, there's always an exception. But yeah, so I'll make sure my science systems can cope with that when I actually get when I build them. Yeah, so as I say, I started off by making videos, and in videos it's nice to have diagrams and things popping up because you can do it. You've got when you can go through and edit them and add in those sort of extra bits and have arrows pointing to them and stuff like that. But so I just stuck with it really. I mean, I've got that one for putting together all of the science packs. That's the catalogues for the astronomic science. This one was showing just how much goes into making a tier 5 module. That's a fairly ridiculous one. Energy 2, and that's all I've got actually in OBS at the moment, so others will take slightly longer to pull up. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. Each time it's sort of the powers of 3 going all the way through like that, and it's silly numbers of circuits to make the later tiers. And I'm probably going to soon start trying to do that, because it's about the point now where I can start looking into I could research productivity 6 now, and that requires obviously 3 5s. Oh, and then it requires the tier 2 biological catalogues. That's really harsh. Those are kind of going to be expensive to make, because they're tier 2 catalogues. But I suppose they're the top of the range. Oh no, they're not top of the range modules. It goes higher. What do you need for this one? A comprehensive catalogue. That makes a certain sense, I suppose. An extended catalogue. And then neural gel as well. Lovely. So they're going to be kind of aspirational, I suspect. Even if it does get me what does this do? Productivity plus 20%. Nice. 729, you say? Yeah, and then multiply that by whatever it costs. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get it spoiled too much. I am making my own way, as it were. And then Tristan, think about the number of green circuits green circuits required to make those. Given that green circuits also go into the red circuits and into the blue circuits in huge quantities as well. That's when the numbers get really silly. In fact, I wonder how many. circuits have I made in the entire time I'm playing? We made 26 million green circuits. I don't even have anything to say about that. It's such a crazy number. Oh, we're short of something again. Cyan and greens again. Goodness sake. Why? Why are these greens? These are greens. Greens are not coming through from the telescope fast enough. And cyans are also not coming through from the telescope fast enough. Alright, let's put down some more green and cyan telescopes. Green's already got quite a lot. Interesting. Still, quite a lot is clearly not enough. I don't know how many telescopes I've got left in my inventory, actually. Guess we'll find out. Oh, I need to fill that gap in. 126,000 green circuits for a single module. That is genuinely ridiculous. So I want basically that. And then we try and line it up there. I think that's... Yeah, that's right. Never do things by halves. This might be excessive, but, you know. It's Factorio. There's no such thing. No such thing as excessive. It's just enough for the time being. In fact, you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to extend this one along the top as well. It looks silly without. $160,000. Silly, silly numbers. Where do you want to go? Yeah, it must be there. Yeah, so I mean, I guess the first game victory, if you mean sort of completing vanilla, launching your first rocket, I suppose I guess I don't think of it as being that difficult, as being that much stuff anymore, because I've done it so many times. Oh, for space exploration, yeah, okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm at the point where I know there's quite a long way to go. I'm halfway through two of the sciences. Well, I'm not even halfway through two of the space sciences. I'm a quarter of the way through all of them, except for the black ones at the end. And I'm assuming that there's going to be extra complications. I'm assuming that there's the big sort of step up in complication between doing what I'm going to call the terrestrial sciences. I suppose I should call them the Norvian sciences, and then moving on to the space sciences, doing all of these ones. They're much, much more complicated. I'm sort of expecting there to be a similar step up when I get to the get up to black science for the what I'm going to call the interstellar sciences. I'm not sure if that's what they're actually called, but it's a good name as any. And so there's going to be a sort of another big jump in complexity for the end of the game. But I'm just going to keep going and chugging along with it and see how it goes. And I don't think there's such a thing as impossibly difficult. It's just that the rate at which I get through the game is potentially going to get slower because it's going to get very, very difficult and require a lot of thinking and a lot of work to just get the various different steps done. And so be it. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. I think it was about a year and a half completing Angel Bobs with Space Expansion. That was a good. I don't know how many episodes I made. There's a good 2 series of it. But I got there in the end. It was hard work. There were a number of times when my brain felt full and I had to step away for a little while, but it was manageable in the end. It certainly wasn't impossible. It just needed time and effort. I mean, Yeah, time exactly. Except exponentially time consuming. That's a good way to put it. But then, as I say, I spent a year and a half on Angel Bob's. It gives me yeah, and I enjoy it. So it's a good that makes it a good way to spend the time. I'm still short of these things and of cyan, but I don't have any more of the orreries to put in another cyan one up here, wherever it is. Is it this one? No, that's X-ray. I can't tell these apart very well. I'm glad I'm not colourblind, that'll make it even worse, but it's still difficult. Okay, so I need some more yellow orreries, and I need some more blue orreries, because these are going through far too slowly. I'm Yes, I have a good grasp of, well, I like to think I'm a reasonably good grasp of maths in general, but I'm not really going into too much detail on the maths with this. Um, as I say, I'm building it, sort of just expanding it out to get to the point where I've hopefully got enough to get on and do the next. And things are running through quickly enough to do the next stage. Low density structures and low density structures. 230 1 to 3 hour episodes. Let's have a look. 294 hours, close enough to. Um, so I mean, I'm on the of that order of magnitude. It depends how many of his episodes were 3 hours and how many were 1 hour. Ooh, nearly time for another uh, low density structure rocket. But then actually, I got off to a rather slow start because it turns out you're not supposed to have as many biters as I did. I used the default Factorio settings rather than the default space exploration settings because I didn't realise they were different at the time, just due to a spectacular fail essentially. So yeah, the Novice was a lot harder than normal, which is why I've got this spectacular thick, well-defended wall all the way around the outside of my base, and it took me quite a long time to actually get into space because I had to do quite a lot of fighting, and until I got the artillery, it was difficult and frustrating and just took forever. Um, Basically, series one of my videos was trying to get into space. Then series two was making the tier one science, so all of this stuff. And then series 3 is the expansion out to try to make let's turn those off. It's expansion out into this area, trying to make the tiers up to 4 of all the space sciences. And after that, well, we shall see. I shall try and pick a good place to end series 3 and start series 4. But I'm only about 12 episodes into series 3 so far, so I think it can stand. I can stand to make a few more episodes from it first. Blue circuit. Don't I got several of those. Yeah, I got 5 of those. Right, that'll do. I think. How many? 4. Is that going to run? Yeah, it has run. There we go, another 2. That'll do. Yeah, so I've only got to about episode 12 or 13 in series 3 so far. So I reckon I can probably do at least as much again before it's about time to start thinking about a new series. Although on the flip side, it seems when I do a summary episode saying this is what I've been up to in the entire last series, it gets about a bajillion views. So they're clearly worth doing for that reason alone. Right, where was it? It was the green. No, it was the cyan ones, which I've just walked past. Yeah, these ones. There and there, there. Belt. I don't know why I'm not copy pasting these. It just seemed just as easy to do it manually. Actually, if I put that over here, then it'll make it easier for the next pair I put down. Because I can have the poles stagger up and down, because these sort of slightly bigger buildings are a little bit awkward to place. Right, blue orreries. Yeah, that's a good size. least these don't seem to need coolant. Makes things a bit easier. Okay, that should be a significant boost. Of course, we won't see the actual effect of that boost for a while because it's got to trickle all the way down here. Oh yes, I was going to put in some more of these supercomputers because making them... I say that I need to... if I'm limited by the inputs, there's no... Oh, actually, I'm not limited by the inputs. I was going to say if I'm limited by the inputs, then there's no point in putting more in because it's just going to fail quicker. I don't know if that actually quite makes sense, but I know what I meant. Hope you guys did too. I could put more in. Put another one in, another 2 in. No, let's just double it for now. I think that's probably a good idea. It's probably enough. There we go. Given, yes, I've doubled some of these inputs. I've doubled this input to it specifically, and that's the one that's barely keeping up. So I think that's probably about right. Series 4 when Series 4 could be for once I get spaceships. That makes sense actually, because Series 1 was when I got into space. Series 1 was getting to space. Series 2 was the basics of space. Series 3 is the complexes of space, and so Series 4 can be the exploration of space. That makes sense. And to be honest, I don't think getting to spaceships is going to be too difficult. I mean, this is probably going to be a famous last word sort of thing, but I get the feeling that, I mean, spaceships are only for the 4 tiers of this science, and well, tiers 1 and 2 are now done. I haven't made them into science, but that's not too difficult. Tier 3 doesn't look challenging, to be honest, and I know, again, I'm probably going to regret saying that. Tier 4, granted, there's the launching the asteroid probes. That's going to be a little bit more complicated, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. The rest of it though doesn't look too bad. I'm suspecting tiers 2 and 3 aren't going to be too difficult for the sciences in general. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I may be wrong about that, but that's my suspicion. And then tier 4 is going to be significantly more challenging. Spaceships and Myokin, yeah, maybe. Do you mean Myokin or do you mean Ganymede? Because Myokin's the one that I've just sort of abandoned, is just gradually disintegrating, because it doesn't have water on it, so it's too difficult to make power. Ganymede is the one that's 5,500 delta V away, so I don't go there very often. Antimatter reactor. Well, we'll see. I mean, oh, is it tier 3? You might be right, actually. Let's have a look. And then I should really start thinking about going to bed. It's getting late. Oh yeah, spaceship is tier 3. You're quite right. Yeah, I probably could. What was the term? Beeline. That's good words any for it. Yes. Console wall, door, engine, booster tank. So these presumably run on rocket fuel, and then you can upgrade them to antimatter to make them better and faster. What's this? This is integrity, clamps, arcosphere. I don't even know entirely what an arcosphere is, but I've read enough of the sort of the box text to be a little bit scared of them. Antimatter, you said. Antimatter reactor. Antimatter production, antimatter reactor. I mean, it requires stuff I've not heard of, so yeah. Antimatter production, antimatter stream. Good. How does a particle stream and some supercooled fluid make antimatter? Really? Actually, how do you make antimatter? I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the science of it to be able to say. Dear. Antimatter engines. Yeah, I can get a spaceship without those, apparently. Oh, right. Yeah, so you're right. I did ignore the pyramid on Myokin. Yeah, I think I do need to go there at some point, and I would like to do that on stream, just so you can all ridicule me when, I don't know, my playing at Indiana Jones goes horribly wrong. Yeah, and I can get there by rocket. I suppose getting back by rocket. Actually, no, there is a launch pad on Myokin as well, so getting back might be possible as well. I wonder if there still is a launch pad and a landing pad, because I have basically abandoned this planet to the tender mercies of the asteroids. No, the rocket silo and the landing pad seem to have survived. So, yeah, and it's got lots and lots of vulcanite on it, so fuel won't be a problem. I could probably get this up and running again without too much difficulty. Replace these with with the decent solar panels, except that the facility is going to shut down overnight. Yeah, I probably should actually just come out here and set up a new vulcanite production facility. Bringing in the water for this was a little bit annoying, but I've got that was the original reason I went off to go and get ice. Um, I could use a condensing turbine instead of a chemical plant to turn it back into turn the steam back into water as well. I don't know which is more efficient because this is slightly lossy. This process is like the turning the water into steam as you wash the vulcanite and then turning it back into water using a chemical plant to condense it is a bit lossy. So I did need to keep bringing ice in, but that isn't insurmountable. The silly thing about this place is, I can't take a rocket there because there's 5,700 cargo delivery cannon capsules in there because I thought this was my first outpost, and rather than building the delivery cannon capsules in situ, I shipped them in all. I shipped a huge number in by rocket and was intending to just gradually get through them with launching them all with the delivery cannon, but I moved away from that relatively quickly. Anyway, um, finally got some more cards. Oh, let's see if the memory cards from the last batch have all been processed yet. Yes, they have. Okay, so this system is currently fast enough. That's good to know. Right. Uh, oh, chatter's chatted. Um, particle accelerator. So yeah, it's producing the antiparticles. That's the question. Maybe if you smack particles together hard enough or in a strong enough magnetic field, it can make antiparticles. I don't really know. Yeah, so I suppose it depends on how expensive the fuel is. And so can the spaceships land on planets as well? Do they just sort of land there and take up a load of space and you have to make sure you've not built anything there? I suppose I shouldn't ask these questions because spoilers, but I know I'll have to wait to find out myself when I build my first glorious spaceship that costs me all of my resources and sanity and then go and immediately crash land on another planet and blow it up. Okay. That's all right. That answers the questions about antimatter. So maybe the rules in this game are reasonably sensible and sort of vaguely accurate to real science. Gosh. Okay, I'm definitely going to call this a night. I've played for about 45 minutes longer than I really intended to. um, oh yeah, I've seen spaceship clamps in the research tree, but I've not tried them. So I was a little bit over ambitious at the beginning of the stream. My original plan was to do this and then start building up the oops, I've left that on the screen again. Start building up something to do bits of this, bits of the science. That obviously hasn't happened, so I guess the next stream, which will hopefully be at the weekend. I don't think I'm too busy then. I'll try and squeeze one in at some point over the weekend. Um, that'll be my opportunity to go in and start trying to get that science together. That is assuming I don't get excited and play a bit without people watching. um, Actually, it's Wednesday already, isn't it? And yeah, so yeah, that'll be that's something to look forward to in the next stream. It'll be that I think is going to have to be the next thing, so that I can so that I can research Energy Science 3 and Astroscience 3, and then once I've done that, I may well build those in order to get the boost to efficiency for building the insights. I also want to build a biological 1 and 2 and a material 1 and 2. That's going to take up even more space, obviously. But I reckon, looking at the way these have gone, I think I've probably left enough space there. That does seem to be big enough. So I think if I do the next two sciences here and here, and then build another strut off to about here to have science being done, the actual science itself being done up here, then that's probably going to be okay. There are a couple of other things I need to make fairly soon. One is cryonite slush that I might squeeze in here or here. And my plan is, as you can probably tell, to do the sort of little the mall type processing things on the inside of here, so here and here and here and that sort of area. I don't really want to build anything off this side or this side because I want to leave that space just available for this one to expand into. I'd rather expand up and down and leave plenty of space because rail is cheap. So yes, next time, actual science production, then moving on to some of the more slightly more exotic catalogues, I think. So I hope you'll join me for that, and I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Interestingly, the number of people watching has been on a sort of actually, no, I was going to say a gradual upward trend. It hasn't been. That's just because I had a window open over the top of it. It got up to about 9 or 10, and then sort of sat there. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Um, as always, so yeah, don't forget to come back for the next stream. I'll try, if I do one over the weekend, I'll try to give at least a few hours warning for it, so you know it's coming. And fingers crossed, I'll actually be able to have a stream without smoke coming out of my internet connection next time. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Maybe I'll get some more crude oil as well.